This is the WB High School Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Sundrop. Today's game, the Castle Knights and Reitz Panthers. We now send you to Darren Smith and Pete Hillenbrand.
We have got a dandy in week number 6 of the regular high school football season as Reitz takes on Castle for a share of the top of the SIAC. I'm Darren Smith alongside Pete Hillenbrand back at Reitz Bowl for always a classic when these two teams meet.
Boy, they did get together and always put on a show for the fans, a lot of times in the rain. I talked to Coach Gaddis earlier, and he said, yeah, I could tell when Coach Leidy and the team got on the bus as about the time it started raining up here on the hill. But not bad tonight, a little humid, but just a lot of electricity in the air when these guys hook up.
The Castle Knights are undefeated. They are 5-0. Wright stumbled in their first game against Indy Chittard. They have been on fire ever since. They come in with a very impressive 4-1 mark.
Well, the best test of their abilities this year was rebounding from that Chittard loss, going to New Albany, being down, 9 minutes left in the game, coming back and winning that game. Coach Gaddis said that's one of the best bus rides home that the team's ever had, and that is really a test of a team. They bring a lot of character tonight, but tonight is the beginning of the tough spot in their schedule.
And as has been the case the last couple of seasons, Reitz can throw the ball. This year they're banking on sophomore Kyle Anslinger.
It's a lot of weight to put on a sophomore's shoulders, but he's surrounded with a lot of experiences. You'll recognize Tad Brittingham. He'll be with him in the backfield giving some protection. Brunson still in the Reitz lineup tonight. So it's a comfortable spot for the sophomore Anslinger. So I'm sure that helps the cushion. It's tough when you're a sophomore to step up like that.
Brandon Roop saw some time last year at quarterback, a little bit of time. He's seen plenty this year. He also runs the ball very well.
Well, Castle now has a passing threat in Brandon Roop, and Coach Leidy, his eyes lit up a little bit when he talked about it, but he still likes to run the ball. But now with Roop as the passing threat, they can spread the ends and spread the field a little bit and keep the defense honest.
And with their top rusher, John Haller, on the injured list, he will see some action, but he's not 100%.
Well, they call on Aaron Key, and Aaron just 6 carries coming into tonight's game, but 6'170", not too bad coming out of the backfield, but he's seen limited action. It'll be a challenge for Aaron tonight against one of the city's premier defenses.
5-0 taking on 4-1. It is Castle and Reitz coming up next.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Denise Kerner of Prudential Prime Location. For all of your home buying, selling, and new construction needs, call Denise at 480-3600. Bockelman's, featuring family-style dining and now catering for up to 200 people at our facility or for unlimited guests at your facility. And by Allen Drees Disposal Incorporated, a local company working to serve you. Call us today at 429-1275.
With fall just around the corner, prices are already falling at Davis Rentals. Check out these great deals on everything for your home. You can rent a Whirlpool washer-dryer combo for only $17.50 a week. 4 living room suits, only $25.99 a week. And there's no reason to fight over the remote with Davis Rentals' great deals on TVs, VCRs, and stereos. Make sure to stop in and see the low prices on all the pre-rented merchandise. Remember, no credit checks, free delivery, and great service. Rent to own is right for your home, but only if it's from Davis Rentals.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen. Get your hot eats and cool treats at University Dairy Queen, 4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville.
Two great high school football traditions on the field tonight. Reitz and Castle meet here in week number 6, and year after year we've been enjoying good ones between these two.
Well, they are always tough when they get together, and now we'll see Reitz back to some more of their air attack that we saw a couple of years ago. They didn't throw the ball quite as much last year, but now comfortable with the sophomore. Castle can throw it, but they still stick with the run. We're going to see the Knights with the football first tonight, Darren. The Panthers won the toss at home and have elected to defer to the second half, so they'll kick it away to the Castle Knights.
Both teams are tied atop the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference at 3-0. Again, Castle's 5-0. Reitz with the one lone setback at the top of the year to Bishop Chittard, 52-13. They have been nails ever since, including a big comeback win over at New Albany. Not the same New Albany team as in years past. So we are underway in week number 6. Castle and Reitz for at least least the first time this year. Castle will start somewhere around the 20.
I think they'll take the field position at the 35-yard line. And offensively for the Castle Knights at center, Hunter Fields. The guards are Todd Evers and Clayton Dame. The tackles are Steve Elmer and Andrew Burke. The tight end is Zach Lair. Fullback is Michael Dietz. The tailback, Aaron Key. Brandon Hale is the flanker. The split end is Casey Elkins, and Brandon Roop is your quarterback. The defense of the Panthers that will be tested by these Knights tonight. The tackles, Billy Haywig and Kenny Tidwell. Steve Naw and Aaron Gabe are the ends. The backers, Chris Brunson, Brian Geiser, Tad Brittingham, and Jared Eckert. Mitch Ray is a corner, along with Brett Mackey. Todd Mattingly is your free safety.
Long call here by Brandon Roop. Runs the ball nicely. Actually, your third leading rusher on the team. They begin the night with some quick speed, and there's plenty of it down there. Corey Morris with your first carry.
Corey takes the ball between the right guard and tackle. They're going to test the line early. Coach Leidy said he's been pretty pleased with the way that they control the line of scrimmage at times. As you well know, his game is all about controlling the line of scrimmage. Bradley with about 3.
Again, John Haller with a high ankle sprain last week in the North game. Expected to see limited action here this weekend. Smash mouth football to cross the 45 and gaining it.
Dietz, I believe, was the carrier. And he carries it forward for the Knights' first down, so give Mike about 8.
Averaging about 5 yards a carry this year. Mike Dietz, 240 yards, second leading rusher behind that of John Haller. So they have the first down. A team that's been making a regular weekly thing with that. 94 actually on the year, averaging about 19 first downs a week. First and 10 from the 46. Roop yet to run the ball, has just been handing off. It's worked so far. Twists and turns back to the original line of scrimmage and may have lost a yard on the last. And the first carry for Aaron Key. Last week had 6 carries for 17 yards. He'll get more carries here in week number 6 with Haller injured.
Kenny Tidwell, the tackle, the first in there on the stop. And our first look at Key, just 6 carries coming into this ball game. Big shoes to fill in John Haller. And you can bet the Reitz line salivates when they see Aaron get the football. They know he has to prove himself tonight.
Wide outside their side, still handing off. Aaron Key, second carry, closes in on the 50 and lost that football. Let's see if Reitz has recovered. First break of the game going to Reitz, or did the ground cause the fumble?
I don't believe they'll rule that one a fumble. So Aaron gets a break there and will hopefully get over some jitters. The one that you got away sometimes can help put you over the top. Aaron picks up a couple yards on that carry. We'll give him 3. One of the keys to the game tonight, Darren, Coach Leidy said, is we cannot turn over the football. I mean, the Castle is always a team year in and year out that just does not make that many mistakes.
Throwing situation for Roop, 626 yards passing so far this year, 23 of 36, and whistles will blow this one dead. This is against the Knights.
Little bit of a head start that time down there, one of the wideouts. I think it was Brandon Hale. Got a little early jump, and it'll be 3rd and about 12 rather than 3rd and 7.
Not a heavily penalized team in the first 5 weeks. Just 19 times, 169 yards. That breaks out to around 35 yards a week penalty-wise. A little bit better each week. Offensively, it's a team averaging 350 total yards a week, and they're getting that a little bit through the air. Like I said, Brandon Roop has been a nice surprise.
Well, we're going to see some of that right now, and Reitz has adjusted to that defensively. They've taken some of the bigger linemen out. They've put a little speedier, a little quicker team in to defend the pass. They have 12 yards to defend, and they'll come away with the football.
Wide outs either side, including Brandon Hale to the top of your screen for Brandon Roop. 64% pass effective. He'll keep it on the ground with Key just to the 50, and so Castle will get rid of it.
Well, that's a big carry for Aaron Key. The defense was spread out. Castle in the passing situation spreads out their front, and they run the little draw play to Aaron Key. Aaron picks up about 5 or 6 and a little bit of confidence that time, but the Knights will have to kick it away and hand it over to their defense.
Chris Brunson backed up for the Panthers inside the 20, relying on David Sampson this year, the punter for Castle. Also has a field goal this year and averages around 30 yards per punt so far this season. Brunson right here at the 15, and he has a lot of speed, just like the Brunsons of the past. He crosses the 20, and Reitz begins the night on the 22.
Boy, a nice run by Brunson. Really nothing there, and he carried it for about 12. Offensively for the Panthers, the center is Billy Haywig. The guards are Casey McDonald and Brandon Elliott. The tackles, Zach Wicker and Josh Burns. Dion Carr is your end. And here's a look at Brunson. You know, you get some experience under your belt, Darren, and Chris has been doing this for many years. And when you have that kind of experience, you're able to go forward for a few yards. In the backfield for the Panthers, the tailback is Todd Mattingly. Tad Brittingham, your fullback. Quarterback is Kyle Lanslinger. Chris Brunson is the flanker. He's in the slot. Dion Carr is your split end.
Big hit as Brunson was looking for a little bit of room, and it looked like for a moment he may have lost that football, and he did. So Brunson's first carry, and he's really been a bear this year, holding on and gaining, loses it on his first carry from scrimmage.
Well, as big as a key as the turnover is, Castle knows if they force the turnover, they can capitalize. So they can't give it away. They need to take it away, and now they have great field position.
Second drive begins just outside the 25 now for Brandon Roop and company. 8:24 here left. Exciting first quarter, and here comes the Castle Knights. No problem putting points on the board either. They've been outscoring their opponents 34-7. Roop, first time to the air, looks towards the end zone. Has a man open down there, holding on for the touchdown. Wide open, Casey Elkins. One of your top receivers makes good in week number 6.
Great concentration on the part of Casey Elkins. Elkins in tough coverage from Brett Mackey, and Mackey made up some lost ground, got a hand in on it, and I can't wait to see this one coming up. Coverage is solo, but it's great by Brett Mackey, and as the ball, boy, what a shot right there. The ball comes through the air, and the first hand you'll probably see is that of Brett Mackey getting in the way, and you see how he tipped it up. The concentration of Elkins pulled it in, and he had just enough room to get his feet in, and the Knights are on the board.
Ship shape, Marshall's ship, 12 of 16 coming in. First is good, and Castle leads this one 7-0. Just underway at Reitz Bowl, SIAC High School football on WB19.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel, your funeral director since 1940. Supporters of Tri-State High School football. Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel wishes good luck to all area teams. Oliver and Hudson Closing Services. Call us at 477-0705 for your commercial and residential mortgage closings and title insurance. And by the Jungle Restaurant in downtown Evansville. Enjoy great steaks and fresh seafood in an award-winning historic building on the Main Street Walkway.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered foods, protein powders, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
High school freshman Mark Jepson drinks Sundrop because it tastes good. But will it make him more popular with the ladies?
So, you free Saturday night?
No.
What are you doing Saturday?
No.
You guys,
N-O, no.
care to dine?
No.
How about it?
Get to the back of the line.
So?
I said no.
Well, Sundrop won't make you more popular with the ladies, but that's okay. Sundrop tastes good. Nothing else matters.
Great tasting, tangy new Sundrop, the genuine citrus soda, now available in Kentucky.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring, your source for quality flooring and installation. Visit our grand opening sale at 2309 West Franklin Street in Evansville. Magic Moments bridal and formal wear for all of your bridal, tuxedo, and prom needs. Visit Magic Moments, 2033 West Franklin Street, Evansville. Baby for lactation, consultations, and breastfeeding supplies. And by Creative Travel, where your dreams become memories.
Castle striking first. Casey Elkins into the end zone off the arm of Brandon Roop. He's run the ball quite a bit. Has also thrown a few TD passes, his 9th of the year. One impressive stat. Besides those, as Brandon Roop has not thrown an interception yet this year, he's getting some on the board first.
They just don't turn it over. As much as they run the ball, they very seldom fumble. And as little as they pass the ball, you know, the fewer times you throw it, you would think the more danger you would be in. You know, less experience in that department. But Brandon Roop is on target. Mackey did all he could to break that one up. Elkins concentrated, ran under it, and hauled it in. Great work, Roop to Elkins.
Ship to get rid of it. Reitz, second try. We'll begin deep. Look for some running room. Dion Carr, better to the 25. Another look at the touchdown. Another look at the big touchdown again.
What confidence in Roop. You know, I mean, he's looking at Elkins all the way down. He said, hey, this is where we're going. Stop it if you can. Great defense by Mackey, but Elkins with the concentration wins out. And Dion Carr was just about one step behind breaking that one big. Just about got through that hole. Good convergence by the Knights special teams to prevent that run back.
Second chance for Kyle Anslinger. Throws the ball 770 yards worth so far. Open up this one on the ground and hold on this time. Close to a first down across the 30 to about the 34.
There's your fullback, Tad Brittingham. And that's a name that the Hill Dwellers have been hearing for the last several years. Tad has just been a great, great asset in the Reitz offensive backfield.
Finally in his senior year, averages 7.5 yards a carry, 334 yards, is sixth right now in the SIAC. That was his 47th carry of the year. He also has 6 TDs in the first 5 weeks. Second down, about 2.5 here for the Reitz Panthers. 7:30 here to go. In the opening quarter, we're at 7-0 Castle. Room to move. That's a first down. Todd Mattingly with the scamper. One of your top rushers, number 2 on the ground for Reitz in 2000.
Todd really did a great job of knowing where that play was designed to go. He didn't really have to even look downfield. Felt the hole there, got to the line of scrimmage, and just ran it on out. What a nice strong run by Todd Mattingly in his first of the night.
Part-time receiver, a couple of TDs this year for Todd Mattingly. In his junior year, was impressed with this kid as a sophomore. It's 1st and 10 from the 42 in motion. Brent Mackey has been used as a receiver this year. A pretty good one. Holding on, trying to bust up the middle. Gain about 4. Trying to muscle your way through that strong, strong line in front of you.
Well, this will be a fun game to watch if you like the trench battles, because it's a lot of strength inside. Both schools have excellent weight training programs, and both coaches are going to battle in the middle, in between the tackles. Be a lot to watch tonight down in the trench.
We call this second down and 7 on the 46. 2 to the outside, and again Anslinger's not been shy about going to the air. As Mackey goes in motion again, Anslinger rolls back for his first attempt of the night. Tries to find room around the 45, and that is incomplete. Pass intended for Scott Hartman. Has been on the receiving end of one of those already this year.
Hartman did a good job getting out in front of the defense and getting his hands out where he could possibly make that catch. Brandon Taylor was giving the coverage, but just a little bit out of the reach that time. But Anslinger's first, that was a nice play, a little fake dive and a rollout. The Knights defense did a good job in staying home.
This is a big 3rd down and 7 now for the Panthers. Down 7 early. See if Anslinger returns to the air again. We've also got some speed back there again. Brittingham lined up. Find the quarterback, but it's back to the air. Looking for Brunson. First down to the 39.
Give Chris 15 and a first down on the reception. Just a quick 2-step drop by Anslinger. And a fairly high percentage pass, but he threw that ball downfield a long ways and relied on the speed of Brunson to get down there and make that grab. An excellent executed play.
This game being brought to you in part by Denise Kerner, Prudential Prime Locations Realtors, Bockelman's Restaurant, and Andy Grease Disposal, making this game possible for you this weekend. Reitz and Castle. Here comes the Panthers. 1st and 10 on the 39. Mattingly, second carry, not as successful. He may have been taken back for about a 1-yard loss.
No fooling the Knights on that one. Everyone stayed home. Good job defensively by the Castle Knights to stop that one. Mattingly is one that can do a lot of damage. Knights had his number that time.
Well, they've been stingy this year, particularly the first 3 weeks. They beat Jeffersonville 52-6 and then shut out Boonville and Bosse. And Bosse is a much better team than we've seen in years past this year. They held on to beat North 16-14 1 week ago. They're undefeated. Anslinger in trouble, unloads, finds Brunson at the 30, and that's a great grab by Chris.
And a great shot by the sophomore Anslinger. He was in an awful lot of trouble that time. He was being pursued by Andrew Burke. That's 250 pounds of junior coming after you. And he stayed very poised and found Brunson for the 9-yard toss, and just about enough for a first down.
Third, about a half yard here for the Panthers. Again, wideouts either side to push that forward. There's a Reitz Panthers first down, and they do indeed hold on to the 28.
Well, we'll give Anslinger a yard and a half, 2 yards on the dive. He shows a lot of confidence for a sophomore, but we're beyond the middle of the season now. He's not a sophomore anymore. And Coach Gaddis says this is a team that has seen improvement every week. They believe that they are improving every week, and they believe that that will continue. That is a dangerous football team.
Looking for room up the middle. Second effort gets you through. Tad Brittingham, and he's been doing that all season so far. One reason he's one of the top rushers in the SIAC this year.
Boy, that's the old Miners dive right there. You just dive right into the rock and you keep chipping away, and you finally bust through to some daylight. What an impressive run by Brittingham. You know, he's in there somewhere, and oh, there he comes. And he's taking the Knights with him still. What an impressive run by Tad.
Finally, Aaron Hills to help him down. First and 10 now from the 16. Right, second possession. First ended up in a fumble. Brunson holds on inside the 5. Touchdown! Just got in for the score.
That is experience. This drive has been a drive of experience, including experience shown from the sophomore with poise in the pocket on 3rd and long. And that was just a battle by Chris to get in the end zone that time. These Panthers are carrying a lot of Knights with them wherever they go, and they are getting the job done.
Always a great crowd at Reitz Bowl. In a classic contest in week number 6, both teams 3-0 in the SIAC. Reitz with just one setback. Brett Dant kicking the extra points this year for the departed Brian Claiborne, who's now playing over at Western Kentucky. Dant, 10 of 16. That is up, and that is good. 7s aside, 4:11 left in the first quarter.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Locations. List your home by September 30th and receive a free home warranty. Prudential Prime Locations, 474-7000. Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling, serving all of your paper destruction and paper recycling needs. Call Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling today at 424-5566. And by Melody Mortgage, where servicing our customers' needs is our top priority. Locally owned and operated. Melody Mortgage, in tune with your financial needs.
Do you want quick in and out shopping? Then shop Paul's Menswear. Conveniently located on Franklin Street, park behind Paul's and shop a family-owned store for quality and service. From suits, sport coats, casual outfits like Dockers, wrinkle-free Hager, Arrow, and Duckhead, to our huge selection of Levi jeans. For all your clothing needs, the choice is simple. Come to Paul's Menswear, where quality and service are never second best.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen. Get your hot eats and cool treats at University Dairy Queen, 4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville. Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, now developing neighborhoods in Newburgh and the west and north sides of Evansville. Call 474-7000 for an appointment. Rich Royalty Jr., State Farm Insurance Agency. For all of your insurance needs, contact the Rich Royalty Jr. State Farm Agency at 477-8930. And by Gloria's Corral Club, located on the corner of Prattsville Road and Helens Lane. Gloria's Corral Club, now serving plate lunches daily.
I'm Darren Smith alongside Pete Hillenbrand. Great to be back at Reitz Bowl on Evansville's west side. 7-7, 4:11 here to come in the first quarter, Pete.
Boy, there is a great shot, Darren, of the toughest fans in high school football, I think. You know, the Reitz fans expect perfection, and a happy bunch right now. This is a very impressive football team. I think they've gotten near perfection up here on the hill this year.
This game being brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, Rich Royalty, State Farm Insurance, and Gloria's Corral Club, helping make this one possible for you this afternoon. SIAC High School Football on WB 19. So Reitz ties it, no problem scoring points, 31-21, the average coming in, while compiling around 340 yards per week. Brunson into the end zone and a 7-7 score. And again, that's on a play right around the 20. Same situation as the opening kickoff.
Well, with a team like Castle, the field position is really not that big of an issue with them. I mean, they can grind it out as long as they have some time on the clock. And so they'll start once again at the 35-yard line. You don't like to let the opponent start there every time, but like I said, the Castle Knights, the field is short for a team like Castle, and year in and year out, that's the tradition.
Looking down below, still no sign of John Haller. 480 yards rushing, 68 carries, one of the top 3 rushers in the SIAC coming into this week. Numbers will suffer a little bit as right now he stays on the bench with a high ankle sprain, suffered in the North game, third quarter last week. First and 10 from the 35. Roop handing off. Mike Dietz with the carry.
Castle with the little fullback answer, and Dietz just powers it straight ahead.
5'6", a strong 185, that kid.
That was a strength run right there.
50th carry of the season for Dietz as he closes in on 300 rushing yards this year. It makes a great football team, helping out to a 5-0 record. Yeah, you relied a lot on Haller, but there's 5 and 6 others who can carry the ball and do it well, including your quarterback, Roop, who's yet to scramble yet. And takes this one, but taken back. That was not going to fool Chris Brunson, and since the fumble, Chris Brunson has been on fire.
Something like that stirs it inside you. I mean, you know, Brunson, I'm sure Brunson expects to play the entire season without a turnover. That's going to burn inside of him. And watch where he vents a little bit of it right now. Very well executed. Brunson says,
He was never fooled. Went right for Brandon Roop. Didn't buy the handoff at all.
Well, you have assignments on plays like that, and Roop was his, and he came through.
Third down 8 for Castle. Roop, second time to the air, avoids 2 tackles and finally pulled on back to the 26. I thought for a moment he was going to escape. Billy Haywig on the stop.
I think Billy got him the first time. Roop's knee touched the ground, but what strength by Roop that time to shake free from the hands of Haywig. Haywig's about as strong as they get down there, but he got the knee down. Impressive coverage.
Haywig goes about 240. So Brunson backed up inside the 40, and Reitz to get great field position back on this one. Sampson gets rid of it.
Nice pressure that time, and there's a nice little kick.
Signaling for the fair catch at the 31. This game brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Location Realtors, Piranha Mobile Shredding, and Melody Mortgage. Helping make SIAC high school football possible this weekend. Castle and Reitz, 7 aside, inside 2 minutes here to come in the first quarter.
Well, Castle took advantage of the game's first turnover, picking up the Brunson fumble, and Roop throwing it in a play later into the end zone. Reitz moved the ball downfield in impressive fashion in their scoring drive, and then their defense answered with the big stop. So now the Panthers, just short of their own 35, have pretty decent field position. 2 minutes left in the first.
Mattingly Trying to get half the distance. Works for it. Football pops out as it rolls out of play, and I don't think that would have been a fumble anyway, as the ground cannot cause the fumble.
Strong coverage on the far side by the Castle Knights defense. There's a good block in the backfield by Brittingham.
Good look there at Kyle Anslinger, 6'3" sophomore. For what little you knew about him coming into this season, a household name now on the west side. Second down, about 7. Makes a couple of handoffs and fools a couple as well. Right up the middle and close to a first down. Skylar Ford has his 4th reception of 2000. With white jerseys around him, that's a nice play.
That was a great one. That's a tough pass to catch. He had to go up top to get it. But he was open enough that he didn't have to pay the price that time. He did take a pop, but not before he picked up the first down. And look at Anslinger is really showing poise on the run back there. And that is a great catch as Ford goes up high to get it.
Senior Skylar Ford back to the ground. Room for Brittingham. Another Reitz first down.
You know, I'm not exactly sure what it is that makes Brittingham so hard to tackle, but he runs very low to the ground, and it's possibly just leg strength. He really can run the football right through you.
A minute left here in the quarter, and Leidy takes a timeout, not liking what he's seeing. And you know, there was a turning point, I think, in the season, and it was early in the season, Pete. We talked to Bob Gaddis earlier tonight, and it was that New Albany game where they trailed 17-7 after getting thumped by Chittard the week before.
Well, that's when you have a veteran team, and they open up the season at home with a tough loss to take. We just put it that way. And then they go out on the road. They have a tough team they're playing in their house, but they're down, and they're just starting to think, hey, what's up with this? You know, we had experience coming back, and now we're looking at 2-0 or 0-2. You know, I don't think they ever thought of 0-2, even at that point in the game. And came back and won it, and just that served as a springboard. And Gaddis was confident of his team coming into this season, and I think around town that opening loss kind of shook off the attention, and now quietly here they are at 4-1, and you know, beating one of the conference's best.
Not so quietly if they can get by Castle tonight. This is 1st and 10. Anslinger again lets it go late and almost held on, but out of play.
I think he came up with that.
Nope. Second chance for it. He's been used as a part-time receiver, Tad Brittingham.
Just about hauled it in. He was in some tough coverage, and it bobbled around, probably got knocked out of bounds, and I didn't see where the football ended up. He's right in the Panther bench. The officials tonight, Alan Henderson, Bernard Cook, Greg Phelps, Richard Ivey, and William Berry.
Second out and 10 for Anslinger. In a 7-7 game, 53 seconds left and a long first quarter. This is Mattingly, and Mattingly never really got good footing. Finally taken down. The end of it anyway, David Sampson, your punter, is also a pretty good defensive player, and they take him back that time for a couple of a yard loss. And 3rd and about 11 here now for the Panthers. They'll have to get a playoff with 24 seconds now showing to the end of the first quarter.
This has been the best first quarter of football that we've seen in the season to date. Class football right on the field tonight.
Clock down to 3 seconds. Anslinger, and just missed that time with Brunson. Had the right idea, but just missed, and the clock stopped with 2 seconds left. Surprised that didn't work.
Probably a little miscommunication that time.
By about a yard and a half.
That pass definitely designed to go downfield because it went to Brunson when he was still about 7 yards short of the first down. So definitely wanting to hit him on the move that time and run it for the first down. And Anslinger looking for him to be a little bit more toward the sideline, and Brunson finding a hole in the middle. And the Panthers kick it away.
Familiar name, Wicker, Zach Wicker. Gets rid of it, and that takes a Panthers roll all the way back to about the 11-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. As Pete said, a very entertaining opening 12 minutes, 7 aside.
The older I get, the more sensitive I've gotten about what the future holds for Mom and Dad. After all, the years do fly by, and it's not an easy topic to talk about. But you know, once we got started, I now understand. It's about values of my parents, of the community. It's not about corporate philosophies or accounting techniques, but it's understanding what family-owned and family-operated really means. That's why both my parents and I place our trust in Pierre Funeral Home.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel, your funeral director since 1940. Supporters of Tri-State High School football. Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel wishes good luck to all area teams. Oliver and Hudson Closing Services. Call us at 477-0705 for your commercial and residential mortgage closings and title insurance. And by the Jungle Restaurant in downtown Evansville. Enjoy great steaks and fresh seafood in an award-winning historic building on the Main Street Walkway.
Here at Oliver Headache and Pain, I see many patients complaining of what they think are sinus headaches. Sinus headaches probably don't exist. Most of these headaches are probably migraine in origin, caused by some complex interaction of neurochemicals and neurotransmitters in the brain, leading to vasodilation or swelling of a blood vessel. The swelling can be controlled with a new medication called triptans. These triptans can relieve your pain very efficiently and effectively, and often allow you to return to work the same day with no side effects.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen. Get your hot eats and cool treats at University Dairy Queen, 4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville.
Look at the Reitz marching band. Take a look at them at halftime. 7-7 after the first quarter, Pete.
Well, it started out looking like all Castle. They moved the football a little bit, scored off of the turnover, but the Panthers have taken over. Aaron Keys for the Castle Knights has had 3 carries for 9 yards. But the ground game for the Panthers led by Tad Brittingham, 4 carries for 33 yards. Chris Brunson has a carry for 2. Todd Mattingly, 4 carries for 7 yards. And Kyle Anslinger, 1 of 2. But the big story is the Reitz passing game. Kyle Anslinger, 4 of 7 for 50 yards and a touchdown. He's thrown to Chris Brunson 3 times for 40 yards. He was the recipient of the touchdown. And Skylar Ford caught a big first down pass. A big pass for the first down.
Castle will have to work for this one. They're backed up to the 7-yard line. They open up again on the ground, looking for some running room. Aaron Key, again with 6 carries last week after Haller went down, made double those tonight, trying to get him out of harm's way, so to speak. Picks up about 4.
The Knights scoring comes on the 26-yard touchdown strike to Casey Elkins. And, you know, both of those touchdowns required a lot of concentration. Brunson's came after the catch. He had to find his way into the end zone. Casey Elkins came during the catch as Brett Mackey tipped the ball away, and the concentration of Elkins and the poise hauled it in. A lot of drama in the scoring tonight.
2nd down and 7 to the 11-yard line now. Roop has not taken the ball yet himself. He's gone to the air a couple of times. Goes a little bit deeper this time, but overthrows this one. As the pass was intended for Hunter Buchanan. That's your top receiver this year for the Castle Knights. 303 receiving yards in 5 weeks.
Couple of big weapons on the receiving end in Hunter Buchanan and Casey Elkins, both with some height and both with some speed. And Roop with the arm that can get it down the field.
3rd down and 7 for Castle. Breaking it down 350 yards a week. 128 come through the air, 220 on the ground. One number that still pops out at you, they average 19 first downs a week. A lot of those being picked up in the opening weeks and blowout wins over Jeffersonville and Boonville. Needed 7, did not get there, so Castle will kick this one away.
Aaron Keys, and he didn't miss it by much, or Key rather, but just less than a yard short. But in this situation, no doubt the Knights will kick it away.
Well, you needed 7 yards on this, and this was almost doomed from the start.
Well, he did a great job in getting through. He, hit time after time. Finally, 3 of the Panthers got together to bring him down. But, we talked about the Knights starting in good field position at their own 35 on a couple of occasions. But since the Panthers really winning the battle of field position.
Nice high punt, and Brunson struggles to hold on around the 42. Castle thinks they have this one back, and of course Reitz pointing in the opposite direction. Castle recovers on the 42.
Well, Brunson got on top of the football, and something that rarely happens, got out-muscled a little bit by the Knight that time, but Castle coming with the momentum, got a good shot in on Brunson, who signaled for the fair catch. What a boot that was.
That was a high punt.
And Chris signaled for the fair catch. That was a tough one to make. Got up in the wind a little bit, and now the Knights get another big break, and turnovers are the keys. They scored off of the first one. See what they can do here now, fueled by the second one.
So Brandon Roop now takes over again on the 42 for the Knights. 7-7, and as figured, this is going to be a good one. Breaking the 40 for a gain of about 3. Mike Dietz with the carry. Amongst those in a stop, Todd Mattingly for the Panthers.
Well, when you're a player with the experience and the leadership ability of a Chris Brunson, your defense comes back out onto the field saying, hey, we're going to pick you up on this one. We don't want to see it happen again, but we're going to pick you up on this one, and we're going to get busy. But that's a big run by Dietz that time.
Picked up more than I thought. This is actually 2nd down and 5. And now comes close to a first down. 4th carry for Aaron Key. And 3rd and short here coming up for the Knights. 3rd and about 1. You see the storyline? 9:15 until the break.
Key really getting dialed in. 14 yards on his last 3 carries.
Casey Elkins just out of your picture to the top of your screen. But Wright's not fooled here, and they're going to push it across for another first down as they break the 30. 3rd down conversions haven't really been a problem this year for the Knights.
Especially when you get that short yardage situation. That Coach Leidy said another thing to avoid are long yardage situations. 3rd in a yard is really nothing for the Knights, and Roop is very dangerous outside the tackles, but when he tucks in behind the center and the guard, he's tough in between them as well.
Great to have a mobile quarterback in Roop, one of the more mobile of the SIAC. Here's 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. Roop's done this before this season. That time the Panthers read it. A gain of maybe 1, so 2nd and long here coming up for Castle.
That was good defensive convergence that time. Castle had the blockers that they needed out front, and the defense just got by them. Just overpowered them that time.
A big part of Wright's schedules we talked about. I mean, they start out with a very tough Chittard team. And New Albany, they're undefeated going into the weekend. They squeaked by them. Well, they were undefeated. That's the lone loss. Beat Central, Harrison, and Memorial handily. But now Castle, North, a much improved Bossy, and then the big one with Mater Dei. Nowhere to go. Billy Haywig, another big stop.
Billy is just flat tough in there, and he's had an excellent career up here at Reitz High School. That was a great wrap in a big situation. Now 3rd and long.
3rd and 8 and 4 down territory. Take a look.
Well, Billy's a kid that just likes to see the play coming in his direction. Sometimes if it's not coming at him, he's going to go get it.
And actually, I can give credit where it's due. That's Brian Geiser. I was thinking 61-51. Geiser, the 5'6" junior, had the wrap that time. Thank goodness for instant replay. Roop on 3rd and 8. Gets to about the 22. That's going to be about 2 yards short in 4-down territory. They have some field goal kickers on this team.
It'll be 4th down and about 3.
Ask Marshall Shipp about that, who had a game winner.
Marshall can get it done. I think his 25 yards is what he had for the game winner last week against North. And right now it would be a 40-yarder. This is Castle football at its best right here, Darren. 2 yards, close to 3 for the first down, and they love these situations.
Big play here in the second quarter. 2.5 yards to keep the drive alive. Hands off. Key cannot get there. Advantage Reitz.
Well, they played off of the fullback Mike Dietz that time. You know, you're thinking dive or you're thinking fullback because Castle is so strong with that. They thought they could buy some extra time by faking and giving the ball to Aaron Key, having him follow big Mike Dietz into the hole. And Wright's really not fooled on any account that time, and they stop the Knights on down and take over. Well, they survive the turnover.
No disrespect to Aaron Key, but you really missed John Haller right there. Haller has not seen action yet. 1st and 10 from the 21 for the Panthers in a 7-7 game. This is Mattingly. And Mattingly, second effort. Gets the first down and out of bounds at the 32.
Well, they needed one more blocker to be outside with Todd Mattingly, and it would have been all she wrote that time. I was surprised that Mattingly was able to turn the corner and beat the Knight that time that he did and get the first down. That was an excellent run, but I think one more blocker out front with Mattingly, and he's gone.
Second leading rusher for the Panthers.
You see him.
He should go over 400 yards for the season this weekend.
Just outran David Sampson. He just needed somebody to pick up Brandon Taylor.
Timing play here for Anslinger. In a little bit of trouble. His scrambling ability not as good as Roop's. Got out of some harm. He's trying to escape big Andrew Burke for one. He's 6'6", 250.
Andrew's gonna, when he takes you down, you're gonna know you've been tackled by Big Andy. And that's a little sophomore shakeup right there.
So keep it at the 32. Didn't lose anything. And it brings up second down and 10. Offensive first. They'll score on each side. Defense since.
You don't tell Burke that Anslinger didn't lose anything on that play. Burke says, hey, you lost a yard, pal. Or lost a down.
Anslinger back to pass. Flag on the play. Going deep and holding on at the 30 to the 25.
Well, I have a feeling this is coming back. I thought that Andrew Burke just fell down. The official was digging in his pocket since Big Andy hit the deck that time, and I think Panther got a piece of his foot.
Andy Kissel looking for his fourth.
Or so will be the call.
Kissel was looking for his fourth reception, but you're right. This one is coming back.
Well, he hit Kissel right in the chest, too, right behind the coverage.
Take a look, see if we can pick it up.
That's after Andy was dropped just a little bit before that, and you know, though, put aside the penalty there for a second, that's more poise shown by the sophomore Anslinger as he gets that ball way downfield. But I think he might have even outrun Burke in that one, but you can bet he went to the huddle and said, hey, I don't want to be hit by him this time. And they kept him off of him.
I said this last year. You know, Dustin Beaver last year was your quarterback with Brett Mackey, and Mackey's certainly very capable. Mackey may be the best backup quarterback in the SIAC. You know, the Reitz teams of the early 90s didn't throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. Now lately and into the new millennium, they're one of the top passing teams in the state of Indiana, right behind Schiff in the SIAC. Dion Carr stumbles a bit and gets some of the penalty back.
Nice little run by Dion. You get outside on that one, and you're going to do a lot of damage. So even though the Knight was taken out of the play, was taken out of the tackle anyway, he turned Dion inside, and that set up the tackle for a backfield mate. And Dion held well short of the first down. It's 3rd and about 15.
See if Anslinger will air it out again. Wide out either side. Reitz for the most part healthy. Again, Castle with about a 50% howler, if that. Run this one. They got a couple. Brittingham, first down and then some into enemy territory around the 44.
That's about a 30-yarder for Tad Brittingham. And, you know, Tad impresses me more every carry of every game that I've seen him play. I think he's a 5th-year senior this year. We've seen so much of Tad Brittingham. I'm sure the defenses think he's a 5th-year senior, but, you know, it's just out of nowhere. And then you think you're taking him out of bounds. Sorry, I'm going to step down the sideline for another 1.5 yards. It's impressive.
Hunter Buchanan tried. He got a couple more yards after that. Here's 1st and 10 now from the 43. Here's Dion Carr with speed. Carr close to a first down inside the 35.
I think he got, we'll see where the chains get picked back up. I think he has another first down. And he does. I have the Panthers for 8 first downs. Nice little run by Dion. Brittingham the Punisher, Dion the Flash. But Brittingham is racking up the yards right now. I don't think the Knights expected Tad to hit as hard as he has been tonight. You know, he's always been a punishing runner, but he's hitting them hard.
Brittingham found a hole and a sweep to the outside. Brittingham with a flag on the play, gets inside the 10 and out of play.
Well, probably a holding or a clipping, and the Panthers, if that's the case, have had some big plays called back. But it came from around the linebacking area. Somebody released.
Wow.
And
what penalties have really hurt Reitz? Penalties and a few turnovers. One of those turnovers resulting in a score. They've shot themselves in the foot a couple of times tonight, or they'd be in that end zone, I believe, already.
Well, if you keep moving the football, you survive those, and you kind of erase it. You know, you write it down as a shot in the foot, and then you go back and erase it after the touchdown, and they won't worry about it too much. But, well, it's fodder for practice, you know, to keep a team motivated. But you put the ball in the end zone, you forget about things like that. But you have to survive them. You have to overcome them, and you have to score, or you pin yourself to the floor.
So first and with a penalty, 11. Backed up at the 33. This is Dion Carr. And Carr trying to get the penalty back, if that. It'll be 2nd and long. This game being brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Funeral Home, Oliver and Hudson Closing, and the Jungle Restaurant.
They need to get a little bit of Dion Carr and Tad Brittingham together. And Tad, you know, Dion likes to get that ball, and he likes to get it in the open field. He hasn't been able to find the open field. He does cover that ball well. But he's, you know, he gets together with Tad Brittingham. He's going to run over those guys.
David Sampson, Hunter Buchanan that time, helping him down to the outside, looking for Mackey for a first time. May have overthrown Mackey by about a yard. And Mackey's not your quarterback, but what a great receiver he has been this year. You know, at the top of the year, and that was something you thought about in the offseason, Bob Gaddis did. Who's my quarterback? Anslinger or Mackey? And he went to Mackey and said, I'm going to go with Kyle. And Mackey was okay with it. I mean, to be the starting quarterback's a big thing in high school football, but Mackey is happy with his role and has done great with it.
Well, one thing that Gaddis has brought to the Hill is the commitment to win. These guys play excellent team ball, and they play very unselfishly. Gaddis likes that passing game. Mackey more of a threat as a runner. So you insert him in the offense as a runner and a pass catcher, and he's dangerous. And although you've got a sophomore, which Gaddis was hesitant to put the sophomore in, But you have that more opened up game, and Mackey, you can bet, is having as good a time as anybody out there, especially with the Panthers at 4-1.
Brandon Taylor stepped over that time, so Reitz picks up 5 that way. Still 3rd and long, though, for the Panthers. 2:41 here left until halftime. 7-7 ball game. 3rd and long. And flags right before this one gets going. A couple on the field.
Think a little bit of movement that time, so the 5 yards to come back, and the penalties have been tough on Reitz. And this one, 3rd and 13 is a lot tougher than 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Rain starts to fall. A little bit of lightning as well.
And the rain was just a little bit behind the Castle bus tonight, but it's coming down pretty good as you see the umbrellas come out and the fans scramble, and hope we can keep our cameras dry down there. And well, they're going to call the teams in.
With lightning, and there's one rule you follow in high school football, you can play in a monsoon, but as soon as lightning hits, they call it for a while. So we'll step aside and be back with more high school football week number 6 from Reitz Bowl in a rain delay.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Locations. List your home by September 30th and receive a free home warranty. Prudential Prime Locations, 474-7000. Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling, serving all of your paper destruction and paper recycling needs. Call Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling today at 424-5566. And by Melody Mortgage, where servicing our customers' needs is our top priority. Locally owned and operated. Melody Mortgage, in tune with your financial needs.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered foods, protein powders, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
A home of your own. It's the American dream. And Wells Fleetwood Home Center can make your dream a reality. Wells Homes, where you can customize your new home to match your lifestyle. Magnificent kitchens, heart-warming fireplaces, garden tubs, and living areas more spacious than you can imagine. Come by award-winning Wells Fleetwood Home Center, Riverside and Highway 41 in Evansville. Your new life is waiting.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen. Get your hot eats and cool treats at University Dairy Queen, 4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville. WB19, always your home for entertainment.
Welcome back to Reitz Bowl and the magic of tape delay. 25-minute lightning delay as we resume play. 2:39 here left to play in the second quarter until halftime. Just seemed like 2.5 minutes to you folks back at home, but we were sitting up here a while.
That was a long commercial.
Well, after 25 minutes, we are back on 3rd and 14 in the well-rested Anslinger. Looks for room, almost intercepted. Looks for Mackey, almost taken away by Corey Morris.
Great coverage by Morris that time. 5'8". They're looking for Brett Mackey at 5'10". Not much of an advantage right there. And Anslinger put the pass up. But good defense.
I'll tell you what, during the lightning delay, I had a chance to talk to a lot of the Reitz fans as we're sitting on the Reitz side tonight, and very, very impressed with these fans with Kyle Anslinger. But right now, he's looking at 4th and 14, going for it with 2:34 left here in the half. Anslinger airs it out far side and just overthrows his intended receiver right around the 16-yard line.
Well, I think that's a situation where you say that field position often doesn't mean that much when you're playing the Castle Knights, and they aired it up on 4th and long. And just out of the reach.
Andy Kissel.
That time of Kissel, but needing a connection right there, and it's tough to come back after a 20-minute delay to that 3rd and long situation that you left when the rain and lightning came. And now you got to D it up, and the Knights get the football back, and you can quickly forget about it when it's 1st and 10.
They begin on the 35, familiar spot here in the first half. Mike Dietz, the carrier. Again, he's been averaging over 5 yards a carry this year. Dietz expected to get more carries here, particularly in the second half, because of the absence of John Haller, who has not seen action here tonight. One of the top rushers in the SIAC this year. Gets 5 that time. Here's 2nd and 5 at the 40.
Aaron Keene not quite getting dialed in yet, but getting a lot of touches and getting a lot of positive yards. He is in the positive and gaining confidence with every carry. Here he goes again.
Brandon Roop handing off that time. Aaron Key asking you shall receive at midfield. That's a first down, and here comes Castle. The only problem, 1:46 to work with, but they have 2 timeouts left.
2 timeouts, and you can pass it. Roop's thrown it twice. He's missed once. The other one was good for a 26-yard touchdown, but boy, that time a great run by Aaron Key, looking up and seeing the holes, not only at the line of scrimmage, but on downfield. Nice, impressive run for Key.
On the 51st and 10, clock continues to roll. 64% pass effective this year is Brandon Roop, 23 of 36 coming into this contest. He'll go to the air here with a buck and a half left, overthrew a couple, almost intercepted. Pass intended for Casey Elkins. Had a big grab last week on the other side of the football.
Boy, and tipped up just about enough to be picked off. A lot of blue jerseys in the coverage area that time, and a dangerous pass, as even more so off of the tip.
Hooked up to Casey Elkins 4 times this year. Brothers Brian and Bryant played over at Bossy High School. And 2nd down and 10. Little room to work with, but you made your own room up the middle. And again, you go with Mike Dietz.
Dietz and Brittingham mixing it up a little bit. 2 of the masters of their craft. Facing each other on both sides of the ball.
Now 3rd and 5, and whether or not you use a timeout depends on this play right here for John Leidy. Elkins out of your picture, top of the screen. 3rd and 5 from the 45. And Roop needs 5 to keep it going. Looks for Key. Has the first down to the 36.
That's a nice, strong run by Aaron Key that time. He is definitely tuned in to this game. I think he dialed it in and removed the doubt on the 10-yard first down carry. That one goes for about 8 more for Key and another night first down. So they stop the clock and set the chains. And they're going to keep moving the football and letting the clock roll.
2 timeouts to play with. 30 seconds left here until halftime. Here's Roop. Airs this one out. And really well beyond that of Hunter Buchanan. Yet to make that connection so far. So with the incomplete pass, of course, the clock stops. 23 seconds to work with. That is yet to work. Roop to Buchanan, but you have a feeling it will before the night's out.
Not getting that chemistry yet tonight, but definitely a deadly combination.
23 seconds till halftime. A long lightning delay of about 20-25 minutes. Now 2nd and 10. Reverse. Running room. First carry for Brandon Hale, who has the first down with 14 seconds left. And Castle, no doubt, will take their timeout here.
I think they kept Brandon in bounds that time.
And Castle, indeed, stops the clock with actually 11 seconds left to play. And we talked about the field goal range of Marshall Shipp, and actually David Sampson has a field goal as well, but it was Shipp last week who had the big one, who helped out in that 16-14 win over the North Huskies.
Well, that's a game that I really would have liked to have seen. North is a premier football team. You know, they have all the weapons. They have the size and they have the speed. And, you know, Castle, I don't know if there's a proper analogy or not, but, you know, the tortoise and the hare story is, you know, Castle just year in and year out, they play that grinding football. They can eat up the yardage and make that football field so small, yet eat up the clock and then just wear it out and grind it out. North this year is a lot of speed and quickness, and I was really surprised. You know, I hate to say it for Castle's sake, but you know, what a great win that I consider that to be over North last week.
Well, right now it's a 40-yard field goal, perhaps out of the range. It's 1st and 10 with 11 seconds to go and one timeout left for the Castle Knights. Here's Brandon Roop scrambling, and now will look to get out of bounds. He's inside the 20. Still a ways to go for that field goal. 5 seconds left. They got maybe one play here, Pete.
That's about 7 more for Roop, and if they're thinking field goal, it's a 35-yarder. I think the winner last week was 25, and Ship had missed one earlier in that game from about the same distance.
Second and 4.
They're going to set up for the field goal.
Yeah, because I saw Roop head to the sidelines. And you're right, this will be better than 30 yards, Pete. Reitz will make him think about it a little bit as we await the field goal by Marshall Ship. Big field goal last week, so that momentum carries over, or tries to carry over into week number 6. Does he have this kind of range?
I think he has the leg to get it there. When the storm blew in, we had a strong wind from the south and southwest. It appears to be fairly still out here. A couple of the trees on the south side of the bowl are still, and the ones across from us behind the Knights fans have a little bit of a breeze rustling through the high leaves. Doesn't look like wind will be much of a factor for Marshall Ship here, as they'll spot this one at about the 26-yard line, making it a 37-yarder. And they might look for a receiver to break downfield. The Reitz defense might not want to pack in too tight, and Coach Gaddis takes another icing timeout.
He's 1 for 4, Marshall Ship. The 20-yarder last week, he has missed from 40, 40, and 38. So a chance for some redemption here and try to give Castle the lead going into the locker room.
Well, and you have to think that his perspective of this field goal is a little bit different than the ones that he's missed. He made his last one. It was a big game winner against a great team, one of the teams favored in the city and the conference. one of 4, you know, the Panthers, the Wildcats, the Knights, and the SIAC. And the North Huskies. Ship with a game-winning field goal as his last, has a new confidence in this kick right here.
This time can give him the lead heading into the half. So a half earlier, here's Marshall Ship. That is up, and that is no good. And that's the way a long first half comes to an end. 7-7 and a whole second half in front of us. When we come back, it's the Reitz High School Marching Band on our high school football game of the week.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring, your source for quality flooring and installation. Visit our grand opening sale at 2309 West Franklin Street in Evansville. Magic Moments Bridal and Formal Wear. For all of your bridal, tuxedo, and prom needs, visit Magic Moments, 2033 West Franklin Street, Evansville. Baby, for lactation, consultations, and breastfeeding supplies. And by Creative Travel, where your dreams become memories.
Have you been put in charge of this year's company picnic, or is it your turn to host the upcoming family reunion? Well, Mark's Barbecue can take all the work and worry out of your next get-together. Mark's Barbecue caters events of all sizes with the best in old-fashioned barbecue cuisine, like barbecued pork, chicken, or ribs. We'll even slow roast your pig. Mark's Barbecue also specializes in cheese and barbecued meat trays and homemade pies. So remember, when it comes to your catering needs, give Mark's Barbecue a call. We deliver satisfaction.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Denise Kerner of Prudential Prime Location. For all of your home buying, selling, and new construction needs, call Denise at 480-3600. Bockelman's featuring family-style dining and now catering for up to 200 people at our facility or for unlimited guests at your facility. And by Alan Grease Disposal Incorporated, a local company working to serve you. Call us today at 429-1275. Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, now developing neighborhoods in Newburgh and the west and north sides of Evansville. Call 474-7000 for an appointment. Rich Royalty Jr., State Farm Insurance Agency. For all of your insurance needs, contact the Rich Royalty Jr. State Farm Agency at 477-8930. And by Gloria's Corral Club, located on the corner of Prattsville Road and Ellens Lane. Gloria's Corral Club, now serving plate lunches daily.
Welcome back to Reitz Bowl, halftime at the Old Bowl, and one thing Castle and Reitz both have is pretty good halftime entertainment as we get set to look at the Reitz High School Marching Band. Pete?
And Reitz Bowl home to some great musical marching competition with Drums on the Ohio up here, and little Drums on the Ohio of their own with the Reitz High School Marching Band. They always put on a great show, and they treated us to a little bit of a pregame show, and now at halftime, this is going to be a good one.
Under the direction of Kurt Weimer in 2000. Still very, very impressive. The 2000 Reitz High School Marching Band. Still one of the area's best, the Reitz High School Marching Band. We're at halftime. Castle and Reitz, high school football's game of the week.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Locations. List your home by September 30th and receive a free home warranty. Prudential Prime Locations, 474-7000. Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling, serving all of your paper destruction and paper recycling needs. Call Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling today at 424-5566. And by Melody Mortgage, where servicing our customers' needs is our top priority. Locally owned and operated. Melody Mortgage, in tune with your financial needs.
For almost 50 years, Rabin has been the name people trust for quality tires. Choose from Rabin's selection of the most trusted brands in the business, names like Goodyear and Michelin at the guaranteed lowest price. From passenger to performance to light truck and sport utilities, Rabin has a dependable tire to fit your driving needs, and they're fitted to your vehicle by experienced professionals. Service you can depend on, people you can rely on, and quality tires you can count on. Rabin Tire, going the extra mile for you.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring, your source for quality flooring and installation. Visit our grand opening sale at 2309 West Franklin Street in Evansville. Magic Moments Bridal and Formal Wear. For all of your bridal, tuxedo, and prom needs, visit Magic Moments, 2033 West Franklin Street, Evansville. Baby, for lactation, consultations, and breastfeeding supplies. And by Creative Travel, where your dreams become memories. Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel, your funeral director since 1940. Supporters of Tri-State High School football. Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel wishes good luck to all area teams. Oliver & Hudson Closing Services. Call us at 477-0705 for your commercial and residential mortgage closings and title insurance. And by the Jungle Restaurant in downtown Evansville. Enjoy great steaks and fresh seafood in an award-winning historic building on the Main Street Walkway.
I'm Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand, back out at Reitz Bowl. Undefeated Castle. Can they stay that way? Right now, a 7-7 game as we get set to head into the third.
Boy, what an exciting first half of football it was. First quarter, actually. All the scoring from there, but statistically, Reitz, Kyle Anslinger, 5 attempts for 5 of 13 for 60 yards and a touchdown. Chris Brunson has caught 4 of those for 44 yards. He received a touchdown strike. A 10-yard reception by Skylar Ford. A host of Panthers in the running game. Tad Brittingham, 5 carries for 63 yards. Chris Brunson, 1 for a couple. Todd Mattingly, 5 for 19. Deion Carr, 4 carries for 9 yards. And Kyle Anslinger, a couple of runs, a couple of yards. 60 yards in the air, 95 on the ground, 155 yards in Panther offense. 10 first downs, 3 penalties for 25 yards. The turnovers, 2 for Reitz, and they lost them both. Brandon Roop is 1 of 4, a 26-yard touchdown pass to Casey Elkins. Mike Dietz has carried the ball 5 times for 27 yards. Brandon Roop, 6 for 3 yards. Corey Bradley, a carry for 3. Aaron Key dialing it in. He has 10 carries, 44 yards. And Brandon Hale, a carry for a dozen.
Todd Mattingly, after a little stumble start by Deion Carr, brings you out to around the 27. So 1st and 10, our first look at the Panthers here in the second half.
Well, as you remember, Reitz won the toss and deferred to the second half. So they get the football coming out of the locker room at halftime, the second halftime, so to speak, after the lightning delay with 2:39 to play in the second quarter.
Even numbers, as the score would indicate, in the first half, 7 aside. 1st and 10 begins actually on the 28 for sophomore quarterback Kyle Anslinger. Doesn't look like a sophomore in there. Begin this attack on the ground, pick up maybe 2. Here comes 2nd down and 8.
I think that was Brittingham with the call that time. The fullback through there picks up a couple. Tad Brittingham, very impressive in the first half. 5 carries, 63 yards, part of the 155-yard total offense of the Panthers. 121 yards total for the Knights in the first half, 26 in the air, 95 on the ground.
Loose football, never got hands to it. Did Reitz recover? I believe they did, as I saw 2 blue jerseys quickly hop towards the football. Doesn't always mean they hold on to it, but that time there was a save. I believe maybe Casey McDonald was the closest to it. Nevertheless, Reitz holds on. They'll lose a couple on that one. 3rd down and 11.
Boy, that's a big one. Knights with the football, threatening somewhat as time expired in the first half. Looking to get the ball back in pretty good shape with the stop here at 3rd and 11.
Anslinger to return to the air. 2 wide outside their side, although Brittingham's lined up behind him, but Anslinger quickly goes to the air. They rush Anslinger, but he gets it off anyway, and that's a 1st down. Nice job, and Deion Carr and Chris Brunson in the area. Carr's 5th reception, he goes over 100 receiving yards just like that.
About a 20-yarder to Deion Carr, and Deion has been having a hard time getting to the outside running the ball. They get him open down the sidelines, and he makes a tremendous catch going high into the air on the Castle bench to make that play, and that's a huge 1st down. I'm sure the Knights were ready to take over somewhere around midfield.
First and 10 here from the 45, so 100 receiving yards on the year at 86 coming in. That's his first grab tonight. Anslinger works first and 10. This is Brittingham. This is Mattingly. Mattingly, 3 on him quickly. No gain. Second and 10 coming up.
Well, Mattingly effective. Carr is fast. But Tad Brittingham is your running game tonight if you're in the blue.
This game being brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen, National Inspection Services, and Foreign Performance Car Repairs. Happy to bring you SIAC High School football this afternoon. Actually gained a yard on that last one. Second down and 9 here now for Reitz. 7-7, 9:50 here left in the third. Great football game. All the scoring happening in quarter number 1. Fake the handoff. Now Anslinger unloads and finds Brunson. And if he didn't maybe trip up, maybe 5-10 more yards at the 35, he took himself down after a very big grab by Brunson.
Huge catch. Great poise by Anslinger once again. Castle really giving good pressure in the backfield. Anslinger is able to just run out of trouble just enough to get a strong pass away. He's pretty impressive back there, Darren.
To the 35. First and 10 again for the Panthers. They've been averaging 9 a week. They go over that here. On the pace, Anslinger hands off. This is Brittingham. Tad loses the football. Boy, at key moments in this game, a penalty or a costly turnover. So just like that, Castle recapitalizes and takes over on the 37. They have shot themselves in the foot a couple of times tonight.
That one is a killer right there, and that's your defense once again is going to be called on in tall fashion.
Have to hold on to the football.
Tad got to the outside trying to get a couple yards. That's his patent move, and looked like the end on the left side got out there and got a hand in on the football. Something that doesn't happen very often.
Reitz
has happened to Reitz 3 times
They've
tonight.
only fumbled the football 7 times and lost it twice coming into this game. That's the last 4 weeks combined. Roop's in trouble.
Straight quarterback draw that time, and the Panthers did not bite at all. As you can see, about 5 of them getting up off the pile.
Initial hit belongs to Aaron Gabe, a 6-foot junior. Take a look. Really no place to go.
Straight draw, and you really expect the defense to just kind of collapse around the pocket, but there's just too much left in the middle, and Billy Haywig was right there to make the initial hit.
Yeah, Haywig had it, and then the finish by
everybody else.
So second down and 10. Lucky not to lose anything on the last. Back on the ground. This is Aaron Key. Key matching his carries from a week ago. Picks up about 4. So 3rd and 6 now for Castle. Still without John Haller.
Key did a good job right there, but Wright's defense is really playing their roles effectively. They're all staying at home, not letting anything go big. Castle, not a big play team, typically a grounded out type of an offense. And Reitz has been able to shut it down so far.
Casey Elkins lines up here on the near side in a passing situation. 3rd down and 6 for Brandon Roop. And Roop will take it himself. One of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the SIAC. Picks up the first down. He can move. Finds the holes and moves. A couple of flags on the play.
Well, we have holding in the offensive backfield. No question about that. I'm not sure what it is downfield. If it's maybe a face mask on the tackle. But something on the end of the play is where the flag is in the middle of the field. Castle just penalized twice for 10 yards in the first half, facing a penalty here, unless the one in the middle of the field will negate it.
So they will sort these out.
Well, it looks like both of them will be against the Knights, and Gaddis is out there saying, hey, I want the one in the backfield. I'm going to take the holding penalty. Let the one at midfield alone. And
so instead of 1st and 10, you're looking at about 3rd and close to 20.
It was a clipping downfield was the call, clipping around the 47-yard line. They're going to decline that, and they'll take the hold. And we'll see what kind of shot that we have of the holding. There he is right there as Roop ran right past the hold. And it was Steve Now was the would-be tackler. And that's a big one.
This is 3rd and 19, yeah. Instead of 1st and 10, they're backed up to their own 27. The first really big one that's gone against Castle so far. Here's Aaron Key, had a nice hole open up, has the penalty back, and comes close to a first down. So right back comes Castle.
21 yards on the carry by Key.
Key's biggest gain of the season.
And that's enough for a Knight first down near midfield. So that 3rd down and 20 was a huge defensive opportunity for the Panthers that time. And Aaron Key says, we just think we'll hang on to the ball a little bit longer.
No one's saying John Haller who, but that's going to feel awful good for the understudy coming in here and getting his biggest gain of the season thus far. Here's 1st and 10, approaching midfield Castle. 7-7, 7:21 here left to play in the 3rd quarter. Running room opens up. Mike Dietz, first carry of the 3rd, and another Castle first down across the 40.
Dietz gets 12 and another Knight first down, as you said. 39 yards and 6 carries for the fullback, Mike Dietz. And now Castle looking to do what they do best, grind out the yards right up the middle. The little delay opened things up downfield for Aaron Key on the previous. And now Mike Dietz straight up the gut for 10.
And you got a dangerous scrambler also in Brandon Roop. We've seen that already tonight. Here's 1st and 10 now from the 40. And again, Aaron Key, after his last big gain, picks up about half the distance again to the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Dietz led Key through the hole that time, so really getting the running game together on this possession and moving the ball 5, 10, and 20 yards a clip right now.
6.5 left in an interesting 3rd. A scoreless 2nd quarter. Both teams didn't have their chances. This is the best Castle's looked in a while, actually, since they tried the ship field goal. It seems so long ago. That brought us into the half. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, Key. Not a whole lot on the last, maybe a yard. And still 3rd and 4, what could be considered 4-down territory.
I think with the Knights, it's definitely 4-down territory. On the 3rd and 21, it wasn't the same. But this still a big play. But I think Coach Leidy and the Knights are thinking about just getting 3 yards a carry on the next 2 carries, and that'll be plenty.
3rd down and 4. Elkins, something to think about. Just out of your picture, top of the screen, will come inside. 3rd down 4. Roop keeps. Needs 4 to keep it going. Has that. Inside the 25. And down at the 18 and a flag. This play will stand. Or at least he'll have the first down.
And well, then possibly a penalty to be tacked on to the end of it.
Face
Generally
mask.
a face mask, and there's the signal.
And that's expensive.
On the tackle, it'll be right on the end, so that'll be half the distance to the goal situation. They'll have first down at around the 9-yard line.
Getting some costly penalties, some costly turnovers, but still a 7-7 game. That man not happy right now. There's Bob Gaddis. Gaddis in his 10th year here on the Hill, 23 overall. Has coached at Indy Pike, Danville, South Putnam, and Hamilton Southeast.
Well, in Danville, they had a statewide poll throwing out the class system, and Danville #1 in the state of Indiana in Class 2A, voted #1 in the entire state. Team Mater Dei will have to contend with, they hope, at some point down the road.
We've got a couple here in the SIAC that could go deep into that postseason. Here's 1st and 10 all the way down to the 12 with the penalty. And here again's Aaron Key. Aaron Key twists to the 5. I like this Aaron Key, Pete. I really do.
7 more for Aaron. Off to a little bit of a slow start, somewhat of a slow start. He was still getting positive yardage, held for no gain on 1 carry, but everything else has been positive. And now, in this drive, he is really maturing.
Had more carries in the first half than he had all season coming in with the absence of Haller. 8 carries for 33 yards after the first half and the big scamper earlier. He has him down to the 5. It's 2nd down and a deuce for Brandon Roop. Great game, 7-7. Another one that lives up to the billing between Castle and Reitz. There's a little hole, and again, Dietz probably has that first down and first and goal. If he doesn't, he's awful close. First and goal from just inside the 3.
I think Big Mike's going to get it 16 yards in the third quarter. And I thought... You watch Roop give the handoff to the first man through. No hesitation as Mike Dietz, and he's got his head up looking downfield. Now he ducks it as he gets into the secondary. But first down damage for Mike. And they'll have it first and goal. And they're right inside the 2-yard line.
Right there. Nose of the football right there.
I thought that the face masking penalty was committed around the 18, which would have put it at the 9. It was back at the 24. So the Knights started this one at the 12-yard line and picked up the first down. So first and goal with just a little bit to go. You give the Knights 4 cracks at it from here. It's just about inevitable. You need a break right here.
Red zone offense, always one of the tops in the SIAC. Now just 3 yards from regaining the lead. Roop trying to hold on and maybe just short of the goal line.
I think he's right down on the goal line. We'll see where they spot it. He has a lot to run behind.
It'll be second and goal. About the 1.
Brandon wanted Mike Dietz there. Wanted to lead. Wanted to get out in front and help that hole to open.
There is less than a yard to the goal line. Second and goal. Roop trying to squeeze through. Touchdown.
Number 10,
Brandon gets it done, and behind a line that generally controls the line of scrimmage in a game. They've had their match tonight with the Panthers, but they were able to capitalize on this drive.
He's the 3rd leading rusher on the team. That is his 4th touchdown of the midseason. And Castle back on top 13-7. Enter again Marshall Shipp for the extra point. And the way it's going, it could come down to something like this.
Well, both of these teams have come from behind in big games this season. Reitz on the road at New Albany, Castle with North last week, and now Castle has this late lead. Can Reitz do it?
14-7, 3:23 left in the third quarter. High school football's game of the week on WB19.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by University Dairy Queen. Get your hot eats and cool treats at University Dairy Queen, 4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville.
Wells Homes, winner of the Circle of Excellence Award in Customer Satisfaction, is your source for quality Fleetwood housing in the tri-state.
.4830 University Drive near USI. National Inspection Service of Indiana. Let our home inspectors find your troubles before they find you. Call us today at 476-1999. And by Foreign Performance, where you know your technician and your technician knows your car. Foreign Performance, the dealer alternative. 1630 North Burkhardt Road in Evansville.
Wells Homes, winner of the Circle of Excellence Award in Customer Satisfaction, is your source for quality Fleetwood housing in the tri-state. Fleetwood Homes, honored by Professional Builder magazine, uses purchasing power to provide homeowners with high-quality materials at the lowest possible price. And with 50 years' experience, Wells Homes can help you design a home to fit your individual needs and personal style. Come by Wells Fleetwood Home Center today at Riverside and Highway 41 in Evansville. Your new life is waiting.
Do you want quick in and out shopping? Then shop Paul's Menswear. Conveniently located on Franklin Street, park behind Paul's and shop a family-owned store for quality and service. From suits, sport coats, casual outfits like Dockers, wrinkle-free Hager, Arrow, and Duckhead, to our huge selection of Levi jeans. For all your clothing needs, the choice is simple. Come to Paul's Menswear, where quality and service are never second best.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Locations. List your home by September 30th and receive a free home warranty. Prudential Prime Locations, 474-7000. Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling, serving all of your paper destruction and paper recycling needs. Call Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling today at 424-5566. And by Melody Mortgage, where servicing our customers' needs is our top priority. Locally owned and operated. Melody Mortgage, in tune with your financial needs.
I'm Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. 14-7 Castle, Brandon Roop, and the keeper.
It's all about controlling the line of scrimmage when you're on offense, especially down in the red zone. And Roop just looks to his right, tucks it right in between the center and the right guard as he lets his line do the work. And they push the line of scrimmage right into the end zone for Brandon. Touchdown Castle in a late lead here with 3 left in the third.
This game being brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring. Magic Moments. Baby on St. Joe and Creative Travel. Happy to bring you SIAC football this afternoon, this weekend. A good one, 2 of the best in the SIAC. Reitz and Castle for you in week number 6. 3:23 here to go in the third as Ship gets rid of it. Dion Carr will bring this one out to the 20.
Well, Reitz is in a situation right now where they can get away with one. And the way, what I mean by that is 3 turnovers. They've lost 3 fumbles. They're only down 14-7, and they've been moving the football, but it's been against a bend and not break offense. Their score was on a long drive. Knights scored on a 26-yard touchdown pass after a turnover, then put together a drive following another turnover. So they've scored off of 2 of the 3 Panther fumbles. Now Reitz needs to put a drive of their own together, hang on to the football, get right back in this.
Anslinger looking for Dion Carr, about 2 yards wide that time. Castle really playing their first team with a quarterback of this caliber. Now Ricky Pisha over at Central, certainly capable, but probably not the throwing quarterback Anslinger is. They're really facing an air attack they've not seen so far this year, but certainly will further on down the road, either when they play Reitz again in the sectional or maybe beyond that, and certainly Mater Dei in a couple of weeks.
Some big games on the schedule remaining. Reitz has North. Castle has Mater Dei. Reitz has North and Mater Dei. And those are big games for Mater Dei as well. Very tough teams in the conference this year.
This is Mattingly. Mattingly to the 21. Mater Dei and Harrison. Actually, that game getting set to get underway at this hour, coming up over at Enloe Field. A rare afternoon game, and Mater Dei should really have no problem with Harrison this afternoon. And so you look at, and this one's got a little ways to go, at the possibility of a 7-0 over a 7-0 coming up in week number 8. But like I said, we got 2:52 left in the third, and this one's still in doubt.
Really surprises me that we do have 2 undefeated teams overall, still in the SIAC.
Almost 3.
Reitz undefeated in city and conference play so far.
3rd and 10. Thrown out of play. Pass intended that time for Andy Kissel. 3rd time he's gone to Kissel. And so Reitz, a rare 3 and out this time, stepping up the Castle defense.
That makes it really tough because now the Castle offense, which fuels the team, smells blood. And a score here would be fatal. Although Reitz is a big play team.
Come from behind team already this year. They don't want to go there again, but. So on 4th and 10, Wicker getting rid of it.
That's a nice punt.
Corey Morris with some green in front of him to the 50. And so Castle takes over here with 2:20 left in the third. We'll take a timeout. 14-7. Castle takes over at midfield when we come back.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Denise Kerner of Prudential Prime Location. For all of your home buying, selling, and new construction needs, call Denise at 480-3600. Bockelman's featuring family-style dining and now catering for up to 200 people at our facility or for unlimited guests at your facility. And by Alan Drees Disposal Incorporated, a local company working to serve you. Call us today at 429-1275.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered foods, protein powders, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
High school freshman Mark Jepson drinks Sundrop because it tastes good. But will it make him more popular with the ladies?
So, you free Saturday night?
No.
What are you doing Saturday?
No.
You guys,
N-O, no.
care to dine?
No.
How about it?
Get to the back of the line.
So?
I said no.
Well, Sundrop won't make you more popular with the ladies, but that's okay. Sundrop tastes good. Nothing else matters.
Great tasting, tangy new Sundrop, the genuine citrus soda, now available in your store.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, now developing neighborhoods in Newburgh and the west and north sides of Evansville. Call 474-7000 for an appointment. Rich Royalty Jr., State Farm Insurance Agency. For all of your insurance needs, contact the Rich Royalty Jr. State Farm Agency at 477-8930. And by Gloria's Corral Club, located on the corner of Prattsville Road and Ellens Lane. Gloria's Corral Club, now serving plate lunches daily.
I'm Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. 2:19 here left in the third. Penalty on the return is against the Knights. And missed that one. They still discuss it. It'll back up Castle, maybe 5, and I missed that one altogether.
Well, I didn't see a signal. Likely a hold. There's one
there
you can't miss.
I thought, was it me? Did I miss something? It's happened before.
Thanks, guys. 15 yards on the clip.
Some expensive penalties tonight for two teams that have not been heavily penalized this season. That's going to back you up to the 35 or just inside the 35.
Second of the half for the Knights. 2 penalties in the first half for 10 yards. 2 penalties in the second half now for Castle in 25 yards.
Oddly, this is the 5th time Castle has started a drive on the 35-yard line tonight. 1st and 10 from the 35. Roop will begin handing off. Key, busy guy tonight. A yard. Here comes 2nd and 9.
Well, Aaron has really come of age in this football game, and now his primary job is to hold on to the football. And the Panthers front line and secondary will be working for the strip and really hoping to play off of the inexperience of Aaron Key. But as I said, Aaron has really come of age tonight.
2nd down, about 9. Roop will keep after faking the handoff to Key, and Roop looks like he has the 1st down. Right back to midfield, so the penalty back, and maybe a late flag.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough call, but I believe they're going to ring the Panthers up for a little roughing.
Late hit, out of play?
Out of bounds, and that's the 15-yard clipping penalty right back.
And it puts them on the other 35, the Reitz 35.
Tack that onto the 15-yard run by Brandon Roop.
Pick up 30, and in striking distance again, move the Castle Knights.
I don't know. I think you survived that last Castle touchdown in a game like this. I don't know that you can survive a 2-touchdown deficit. But I tell you what, I like this Reitz team, and they're capable of a lot of things. But the Castle defense has done a good job in taking Tad Brittingham out of the ball game, really looking for Tad to get the call and then able to keep up with the other Panthers that handle the ball. And that's when the game turned.
And not to beat a dead horse, but, Haller has not seen any action tonight. Thought he might see some, and he still may. But they're doing this, beating a talented Reitz team without their top rusher. Perhaps we'll see him in 2 weeks. We have the Castle Knights on again against the Mater Dei Wildcats. Here's Aaron Key. Like I said, he's been busy tonight. He has the first down. Tightrope around the 20 where he's taken out.
He's just been getting more confident with every carry of the ball. That time he broke some big tackles. And that's about 15 more yards for Aaron Key. And I'm going to need a calculator to tally up his yards. 56 yards here in the second half. So he's right at 100 yards on the night. And that's a big carry late in the game.
1:15 to the third. A whole fourth in front of us, but right, very tough to come back against these Castle Knights. 2 scores, even in your own backyard. 1st and 10 from the 20 for Roop. Has not disappointed tonight. Key, and they'll blow this one dead.
There's a flag on the play.
Movement. Back them up 5.
So we've had 5 penalties in the entire first half. We have 5 now here in the third quarter. Possibly a little fatigue. Whatever the reason, a heavily penalized third quarter. You know, penalties from the first half. Officially, the Panthers penalized 3 times for 25 yards, but I overheard some of the Reitz coaching staff up here in the press box during the lightning delay. Although it only went down as 25 yards on paper, in the big gainers that it nullified, over 70 yards those penalties were responsible for in Panthers offense.
Don't show up in the stat column anyway. Here's 1st and 15. Here again is Aaron Key. There's the penalty back inside the 20.
7 more for Aaron, and Castle now really taking control at the line of scrimmage. And apparently wearing down the Panthers front.
And this is a team who last year lost 2 of the finest in the area, Kevin Fox and Carl Hill, both who are now at Indiana State, picked up the gaps nicely.
Well, it's getting a little bit easier for Aaron Key, and at the same time he has gained a ton of confidence. I don't know how easy that hit was to take from Tad Brittingham, but Aaron Key is seeing a lot more holes at the line of scrimmage, and he is taking advantage of them.
Brandon Roop, this helps. Your quarterback can move, looks for the holes, and basically gets back to where he was. So still about 3rd and about 8 coming up for Castle. Another flag. Wow.
Probably holding. Roop got in trouble, and that's the call on the cutback. You'll see that happen a lot. A guy with his block, you know, he's blocking the flow to the outside, and then your quarterback scrambles, he'll run right into the guy that you were blocking. So in trying to catch up, a lot of times you'll see that hold committed, and that's the case this time. 10 more against Castle, 25 yards. Or check that, 50 yards in penalties.
Holding against Castle.
Penalized just twice in that first half for 10. So more penalties combined this third quarter than we had in the entire first half. This should be the final play of the third quarter. 2nd and 20 for Brandon Roop.
This is huge for the Panthers.
Very huge. Never had a chance. Stephen now, right now for the senior. Big, and that's the way we go into the 4th. 14-7. Castle trying to hold on. They're looking to go to 6-0 in week number 6. Fourth quarter action. We go there next on WB19.
High school freshman Mark Jepson drinks Sundrop because it tastes good. But will it make him more popular with the ladies?
So, you free Saturday night?
No.
What are you doing Saturday?
No.
You guys,
N-O, no.
Curdine?
No.
How about it?
Get to the back of the line.
So?
I said no.
Well, Sundrop won't make you more popular with the ladies, but that's okay. Sundrop tastes good. Nothing else matters.
Great tasting, tangy new Sundrop, the genuine citrus soda, now available in Kentucky.
Here at Oliver Headache and Pain, I see many patients complaining of what they think are sinus headaches. Sinus headaches probably don't exist. Most of these headaches are probably migraine in origin, caused by some complex interaction of neurochemicals and neurotransmitters in the brain, leading to vasodilation or swelling of a blood vessel. The swelling can be controlled with a new medication called triptans. These triptans can relieve your pain very efficiently and effectively and often allow you to return to work the same day with no side effects.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Kessel is brought to you in part by Denise Kerner of Prudential Prime Location. For all of your home buying, selling, and new construction needs, call Denise at 480-3600. Bockelman's featuring family-style dining and now catering for up to 200 people at our facility or for unlimited guests at your facility. And by Allen Drees Disposal Incorporated, a local company working to serve you. Call us today at 429-1275. Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring, your source for quality flooring and installation. Visit our grand opening sale at 2309 West Franklin Street in Evansville. Magic Moments Bridal and Formal Wear. For all of your bridal, tuxedo, and prom needs, visit Magic Moments, 2033 West Franklin Street, Evansville. Baby, for lactation, consultations, and breastfeeding supplies. And by Creative Travel, where your dreams become memories.
Castle Knights looking at 3rd and 25 as we begin our fourth quarter. 14-7 for the Knights. Brandon Roop trying to get some of that back. Hit as he just let it go, and the pass complete around the 25. Finds a target, one of his favorites this year, Hunter Buchanan. His favorite target, hooks up for the first time. Didn't get the first down, still about 4 yards short.
Still about 14 yards short. That's the original line of scrimmage.
I'm looking at the wrong marker, you're right.
So they pick up about 12 on the reception to Hunter Buchanan. So now you think, well, maybe field goal range at 40. Nope, they're thinking 4-down territory and 4th and 14 from the Panther 25.
This isn't exactly the ball game, but very well could decide it.
First down, it's possible that it is.
4th and 15, going long, almost intercepted. The good news for Reitz, they take over on downs. Just getting in the way, Brett Mackey.
Well, that's what you go over in your head time and time again in practice. 4th and 14, they throw that pass up in the air. You don't want the interception right there. You intercept that, and it's first down at your own 6. You knock it down, it's first down at your own 25. So that's a huge difference. Very heady play by Brett Mackey that time. He was in a position to pick it off. He knocked it down. Panthers don't have their backs against the goal line, and they are right in this ball game.
1st and 10 from the 25. Down by a score. Here's Dion Carr. Picks up the deuce. Here's 2nd and 8. Tackled down below by Brandon Taylor, the senior.
That run only went for about 3 yards, Darren, but that was Dion Carr's best run of the night. I haven't seen him prior to this ball game, possibly his best of the season, because what he's been having trouble with tonight is just running into the tackler and kind of taking the tackle.
That first step.
Look at this. He goes heads up. He goes heads up right into Corey Morris, or Brandon Hale rather. That was a great run by Dion Carr. That gets him in this ball game as a runner right now.
Approaching the 30, still a few yards short of that first down. So a big 3rd down coming up here. 3rd down and about 3 now for the Panthers. 10:15 left in regulation.
Well, you know Dion can catch passes. You know that Chris Brunson can catch him. Skylar Ford has one. Brittingham can run.
Chris Macer has a couple of big grabs this year already.
So many weapons on 3rd and 4.
Enslinger gets rid of it quickly. Mackey has the first down to the 39. And that's how valuable that kid is as a receiver. Hey, he's a heck of a quarterback. He's so valuable as a quarterback's helper. He's one of your top receivers in the SIAC.
Well, and we have to give a lot of credit to the front line. You know, we've talked about their defense looking at times like they're getting a little tired. That time their offensive front survived a blitz by the Knights and gave Mattingly just enough time to get that ball to Mackey, who had gone just beyond the first down marker, was able to turn it upfield for more. That's a big first down for the Panthers.
Here comes Reitz. On their own 39, Brittingham, welcome back about a yard, crossing the 40. Here's 2nd down and 9. A lot of weapons, both sides. Not relying on just that one player. We've been around Kentucky and a great part of southwestern Indiana the past couple of weeks. And one problem with some of the teams is they put too much emphasis on just one player. I don't see that here this week with these two teams.
Neither team does that.
2nd and 9. Dion Carr may have actually lost something there. They read that all the way.
Boy, Dion is really running with an attitude here in this quarter. That play, there just wasn't anything there for Dion, but Dion is taking it to the would-be tacklers, and you break tackles when you keep doing that. Nice possession for Dion Carr.
Best game we've had on this year so far. 8:24 in rolling in the 4th, and a big 3rd and 9 now for Reitz. Anslinger has 2 wideouts either side. He'll go right up the middle into traffic. Intercepted. Brandon Taylor has a big one. He's moving to the 21.
That's going to be tough to survive. And, you know, you look at it on paper, that's the 4th Panther turnover, and they're just down by 7. Still time for a big defensive stop. But a team like the Castle Knights going to be tough. Just a ball thrown into serious coverage right here.
2 on your intended receiver, Brunson. And there's a 4th quarter gift.
Well, that's possibly the inexperience there. If you get that ball over the head of Brunson where he has to go downfield to make the catch and get behind the coverage, but is a little bit in front. Good coverage back there, and your quarterback turns into a defender that time.
Aaron Key to the 21. Actually, really not much of a gain on the last. Stays there, 2nd and 10. So you'd like to punch it in if you're Castle, no doubt, but you also like to work on some of this clock, which in your favor now is 7:40 in regulation.
Well, you don't want to give the ball back to the Panthers with a 1-touchdown lead.
No.
You really need to come away.
Not here.
You've got to come away with some points right here and make it a 2-possession game. And so this is great opportunity once again for the Reitz defense, which has shined tonight. The Panther defense has been on the field an awful lot, and the Castle Knights just have 14 points off of 3 turnovers right now, this possession on the 4th.
Take one handoff, and they read Aaron Key. They go nowhere with that. So 3rd and 10 here coming up. A Reitz defense that has, kept Castle for the most part off the board. A Castle team has been averaging 34 points per week.
Well, you get back into the offensive backfield right now, and it's questionable for a field goal. Shipp, I think, has the leg. The last one was a line drive kick, a little low and a little left. But you want to get into the offensive backfield. If you're Castle, you play off that. Maybe look for some kind of a draw type of a play right here.
I think you think more about it, though, if they don't get this. 3rd and 10. And again to the outside. Brandon Hale, with a rare carry in this game, is taken back. And that's also taken back out of field goal range.
Well, you know that they're going to come. You know that they're really going to pressure the backfield. If you run a draw play, you hope that that defensive surge goes on past the guy with the ball. Otherwise, you try to beat that surge to the outside, and that's the way the Knights went about it. And the Panthers had the defensive field spread and just really know where to go. Reitz has shown an incredible defense. Darren, a stop here. And you're looking at surviving 4 turnovers, and you're right in the ball game. This is a big defensive stop once again.
Castle, 7 of 12 4th down conversions this year. Here's 4th and 15. Here's Roop. Did not get there. So again, Reitz takes over on their own 25. We'll take a timeout with 5:34 left in regulation. It's high school football's game of the week.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel, your funeral director since 1940. Supporters of Tri-State High School football. Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel wishes good luck to all area teams. Oliver and Hudson Closing Services. call us at 477-0705 for your commercial and residential mortgage closings and title insurance. And by the Jungle Restaurant in downtown Evansville. Enjoy great steaks and fresh seafood in an award-winning historic building on the Main Street Walkway.
The older I get, the more sensitive I've gotten about what the future holds for Mom and Dad. After all, the years do fly by, and it's not an easy topic to talk about. But you know, once we got started, I now understand. It's about values of my parents, of the community. It's not about corporate philosophies or accounting techniques, but it's understanding what family-owned and family-operated really means. That's why both my parents and I place our trust in Pierre Funeral Home.
Excuse me, folks, but I have to show the Fleetwood home to someone else now.
Introducing the Fleetwood Anniversary Homes with an upgraded Maytag appliance package and over 50 years of experience built right in. All for about what you're paying for rent. It doesn't take long to feel right at home.
See the Fleetwood Anniversary Home at Wells Homes on 41 and Riverside in Evansville today.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Benny's Flooring, your source for quality flooring and installation. Visit our grand opening sale at 2309 West Franklin Street in Evansville. Magic Moments Bridal and Formal Wear. For all of your bridal, tuxedo, and prom needs, visit Magic Moments, 2033 West Franklin Street, Evansville. Baby, for lactation, consultations, and breastfeeding supplies. And by Creative Travel, where your dreams become memories. WB19, always your home for entertainment.
Well, you're looking at first down and 10 from the 25. Reitz down by 7. 5:34 left in regulation for the Panthers. Trying to give Castle their first setback of the season. Anslinger buys himself some more time. Lets it go. Underthrows the receivers. It brings up second down and 10. They've been given some lifelines, so to speak, here, Pete. Just when you thought, well, maybe Castle can punch it in and put this one away. The defense has shown up big here lately. And again, it creates another chance for this pretty good offense we've seen in week number 6. This is second down and 10, again from their own 25. Reitz no stranger to coming back, as they did in week number 2 on the road at New Albany. Loose football.
The Panthers signaling that they have it. I don't know that they got back to that football. We'll get the pile cleared, and apparently they did.
These two teams combined had only lost the ball via the fumble 5 times. That's combined. There's been a lot more loose footballs tonight. Reitz survives the last, holds on to the last, all the way to the 30, and it brings up third down and 5, and you have to think ahead if they don't get it here. Depending on how close they are, what do you do?
Well, hopefully that's a situation for the coaching staff of the Panthers that they won't have to worry about. They're looking to pick up this first down right here. I think that the way Castle controls the football, even though you're on your own 30, it becomes 4-down territory. A lot of time is on the clock. But you give the ball back to Castle, and they have the ability to eat the clock. It's fun situations for us to talk about. Nerve-wracking if you're a coach.
You want to win that SIAC, and these two teams, along with Mater Dei, undefeated atop the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference. Both teams came in at 3-0. Reitz lost their first game of the season, have been rolling since the second half of the New Albany game. Castle survives a scare last week at North. Other than that, have handled their opponents pretty well. This is 3rd and 5. Brunson's in motion. Anslinger back to the air. There's Mackey. Had it. Lost it. Decision time, Pete.
Tough pass. It got out underneath Brett Mackey. I'm sure he'd like to have that back, because that's one that he usually can come up with. And Panthers send their punting unit on and look to call on their defense one more time.
Not a bad call, obviously. Well, you mess up here, you're in big trouble. But the defense has, like I said, shown up lately.
Well, what you're saying if you go for it is, here's the game right here. You want to keep the football. Coach Gaddis has confidence in his offense. He has the passing abilities. And he's going to give it away and call on his defense.
Time out on the field. We step aside as well. 4:53 left in regulation.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, now developing neighborhoods in Newburgh and the west and north sides of Evansville. Call 474-7000 for an appointment. Rich Royalty Jr., State Farm Insurance Agency. For all of your insurance needs, contact the Rich Royalty Jr. State Farm Agency at 477-8930. And by Gloria's Corral Club, located on the corner of Crottsville Road and Helens Lane. Gloria's Corral Club, now serving plate lunches daily.
For almost 50 years, Rabin has been the name people trust for quality tires. Choose from Rabin's selection of the most trusted brands in the business, names like Goodyear and Michelin at the guaranteed lowest price. From passenger to performance to light truck and sport utilities, Rabin has a dependable tire to fit your driving needs, and they're fitted to your vehicle by experienced professionals. Service you can depend on, people you can rely on, and quality tires you can count on. Rabin Tire, going the extra mile for you.
Have you been put in charge of this year's company picnic, or is it your turn to host the upcoming family reunion? Well, Mark's Barbecue can take all the work and worry out of your next get-together. Mark's Barbecue caters events of all sizes with the best in old-fashioned barbecue cuisine, like barbecued pork, chicken, or ribs. We'll even slow roast your pig. Mark's Barbecue also specializes in cheese and barbecued meat trays and homemade pies. So remember, when it comes to your catering needs, give Mark's Barbecue a call. We deliver satisfaction.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Prudential Prime Locations. List your home by September 30th and receive a free home warranty. Prudential Prime Locations, 474-7000. Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling, serving all of your paper destruction and paper recycling needs. Call Piranha Mobile Shredding and Recycling today at 424-5566. And by Melody Mortgage, where servicing our customers' needs is our top priority. Locally owned and operated. Melody Mortgage, in tune with your financial needs.
Darren Smith with Pete Hillenbrand. 4th and 5 in Reitz. We'll get rid of it.
Or so we think. Knights took the timeout to talk about it, and they do punt it away.
And that is Zach Barrett with, notice this earlier, Wicker on the sidelines, on the bench, as they seem to be nursing something. So Zach Barrett called in to get rid of it. And Castle, who hopes to work some clock here, tries to go home and escape Reitz Bowl with a 6-0 start to the season. If this holds up, I really do believe we'll have one whale of a football game on October 6th, a game you'll see here on WB19. Mater Dei and Castle trying to win it outright in week number 8.
That will be a great one. But I tell you, regardless of the outcome of this game, Darren, already at this point, hats off to the Panther defense. They have been called time and time and time again, and they have responded. The touchdowns came off of turnovers.
There's a scamper, and maybe the final nail in the coffin. No flags. Aaron Key, take a bow. Touchdown.
42 yards, 42 more for Aaron Key. That puts him up near 150 yards on the night. That one definitely his biggest. And the Knights opened up a hole for Aaron. And the team that is not a big play football team, when you control it like that up front, every once in a while your back can bust it and break it open downfield.
Aaron Key had not had a carry this season until last week when Haller went down. You'd never know it watching his play here tonight.
Well, Leidy always draws the players at Castle High School, and you know that he is deep year in and year out. And Aaron Key, his first couple of carries were adequate, and from there it was all she wrote. Katie bar the door for Aaron Key. Got stronger with every carry, followed his holes a little better every time. Boom, 42 and a touchdown on probably his final carry of the night.
21-7. We'll be back.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Kessel is brought to you in part by Denise Kerner of Prudential Prime Location. For all of your home buying, selling, and new construction needs, call Denise at 480-3600. Bockelman's featuring family-style dining and now catering for up to 200 people at our facility or for unlimited guests at your facility. And by Allen Grease Disposal Incorporated, a local company working to serve you. Call us today at 429-1275.
With fall just around the corner, prices are already falling at Davis Rentals. Check out these great deals on everything for your home. You can rent a Whirlpool washer-dryer combo for only $17.50 a week. Full living room suits, only $25.99 a week. And there's no reason to fight over the remote with Davis Rentals' great deals on TVs, VCRs, and stereos. Make sure to stop in and see the low prices on all the pre-rented merchandise. Remember, no credit checks, free delivery, and great service. Rent to own is right for your home, but only if it's from Davis Rentals.
Now open in Newburgh, Nutrisport, your complete sports nutrition warehouse. 42 national brands, EAS, Metrics, Labrada, Optimum Nutrition, and many more. Engineered foods, protein powders, creatine, weight gainers, fat loss, energy. Best prices on nutrition bars. Not one day a month, no gold card needed. Every day, lowest prices guaranteed. Nutrisport, at the corner of Outer Lincoln and Highway 261 in Newburgh.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Kessel is brought to you in part by Eagle Construction, now developing neighborhoods in Newburgh and the west and north sides of Evansville. Call 474-7000 for an appointment. Rich Royalty Jr., State Farm Insurance Agency. For all of your insurance needs, contact the Rich Royalty Jr. State Farm Agency at 477-8930. And by Gloria's Corral Club, located on the corner of Crottsville Road and Ellens Lane. Gloria's Corral Club, now serving plate lunches daily.
Just 4:33 here left to play in regulation. Is this the final nail in the coffin, Pete?
Well, they have to score twice, and they both have to be touchdowns. Look at Aaron Key, reads that hole perfect, and there was a lot of room downfield. And it's off to the races for Aaron Key. Nothing but the green grass of the end zone on the closed end of Wright's Bowl for Aaron Key.
First TD for Aaron Key on the season. 4:33 left here. Castle next week will host Harrison. And then Mater Dei in 2 weeks. Mater Dei, who has Harrison on this Saturday, will take on Owensboro Catholic next Thursday. So you like your chances once again of a 7-0 taking on a 7-0 and a big week number 8. 4:33 here left in week number 6. 21-7. Reitz needs to score, and they just score quick.
Well, they'll be looking to the air and looking to throw the Castle defense off with some running plays, different schemes, but defense gets a little bit easier with 4.5 minutes to play and a 2-touchdown lead. But even still giving up that long touchdown, 2 of the night's scores came off of turnovers, and the defense really did a fine job tonight.
Kyle Anslinger, the sophomore quarterback, looking for Chris Brunson. Incomplete. Nice coverage that time by Corey Morris. And here comes second down and 10 with 4.5 left. Reitz will host North next Friday. They're at Bosse a week from Saturday, or 2 weeks from today, I should say. And then the big one with Mater Dei, Friday, October 13th, a game you will see right here on WB19. 21-7 Castle. Strong top half of the SIAC again. Castle, Reitz, North, and Mater Dei in 2000. Anslinger, with that move, bought himself some time and fired it down the middle. Skylar Ford, not enough for the first down, but around the 36 and a flag.
Well, with the pass interference, they'll have enough for the first down. Nice catch by Ford that time. Goes for about 8, and he got knocked a little bit early. So they'll take that one and pick up the first down.
Unless they see a big hole for maybe Tad Brittingham. Anslinger, they need his arm here. to bring him closer in a hurry. Now 4:19 left, and you're down by 2 scores.
Well, everything. Everything is possible in a high school football game. And a quick score and an onside kick. I mean, we talk like it's over. It's a very tough defense to have to put a couple of touchdowns up against late. But, they have a very potent passing game. So it's not over by any means. Big mountain to climb for the Panthers, however, but very capable. These guys you're talking about guys that run the steps in practice every day, the steps of this Reitz Bowl that wear us out just walking up before the ball game.
Anslinger incomplete, looking downfield, Andy Kissel. And it's 2nd down and 10 again. Sectional draw coming out in a couple of weeks. Should be interesting. Like I said, these two teams could easily meet up again. Reitz, the defending sectional champs, 9-3 last year before falling in the regional to Bloomington South. Here's 2nd and 10. Anslinger hit as soon as he let that one go, and just fingertips to it that time to Andy Kissel on the far side. So now a big 3rd and 10 for the Panthers.
When Anslinger, he bounced up from a big time hit that time. He has 44, I think, inscribed on his jersey now. David Sampson, 6'2", 205, defensive end, came around unimpeded and put it into the back of Anslinger. Kyle jumped right back up.
3rd down and 10. Shotgun, Anslinger has some more room to work with. Double coverage that time, incomplete again to Andy Kissel. Has tried so hard to get it to Kissel tonight, and usually Kissel drawing the double coverage. Case in point, here's 4th and 10, and they've got to go for it.
Great work that time defensively back there. And that's Corey Morris doing the damage into double coverage, but Corey really in tight on him. Fine defensive job by Corey that time.
So for all intents and purposes, this is it on 4th and 10 and down by 2 scores. 4 minutes left. Brunson, but has a long way to go, and he does not get there. So Castle takes over on downs on the stop that time by Andrew Burke, 6'6", 250. At midfield, Castle takes over. We'll take a timeout, 3:50 left in this one. High school football's game of the week.
A home of your own. It's the American dream. And Wells Fleetwood Home Center can make your dream a reality. Wells Homes, where you can customize your new home to match your lifestyle. Magnificent kitchens, heartwarming fireplaces, garden tubs, and living areas more spacious than you can imagine. Come by award-winning Wells Fleetwood Home Center, Riverside and Highway 41 at Evansville. Your new life is waiting.
Today's high school football game between Reitz and Castle is brought to you in part by Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel, your funeral director since 1940. Supporters of Tri-State High School football. Miller & Miller Colonial Chapel wishes good luck to all area teams. Oliver and Hudson Closing Services. Call us at 477-0705 for your commercial and residential mortgage closings and title insurance. And by the Jungle Restaurant in downtown Evansville. Enjoy great steaks and fresh seafood in an award-winning historic building on the Main Street Walkway.
2. 1st and 10 on the 48 for Castle. 3:50 to kill. Let's see if they ground this out here. I say Wright's defense earlier. I said lately. Actually, Wright's defense has done pretty good throughout most of the night. A late score to hurt him, and case in point, Tad Brittingham puts a quick stop to that one. Now, Wright's has some timeouts they can use also, but they might also need him to help them score later on if they get the football back. Nowhere to go that time for Mike Dietz.
Boy, what a pop by Tad Brittingham that time. Fullback on fullback. Brittingham blitzing from the linebacker spot into that hole that Dietz had counted on as his own. And Brittingham really put a pop on Dietz.
Lost 2, second down and 12 for Castle. They're just as concerned of running that time down. Wide outside their side, although I think they keep it on the ground here with Dietz or Aaron Key. Both have done a great job tonight. Dietz here gets some of that back to the 46. Third and long here coming up for Castle with now 3:02 remaining. And Reitz uses one of their timeouts right here. Well, you have to get the ball back first with some time to work with, so that's a good call there by Bob Gaddis. 3rd and 7 here coming up for Castle.
You don't want to stop the clock. You want to pick up the first down. You know, you're enjoying a 2-touchdown lead. I don't know if they're enjoying it yet at this point, but they have a 2-touchdown lead. Time is on their side, but definitely looking for a first down. And they'll enjoy their dinner and meeting over at the Leidy's house this Wednesday a little bit more as they prepare for next week's game. But it's very tough to survive 4 turnovers. And Leidy told us before the ball game, his key is not giving the ball away, not facing long yardage situations. You know, they haven't given the ball away. They faced long yardage a couple of times. The Panthers made some big defensive stops, and that kept them in that game in spite of the turnovers. But it came down to the fact that Castle played the good, solid game and just held on to the football.
Leidy knows of what he speaks. State championships in 82 and 94. He's in his 28th year as head coach of the Castle Knights. This is 3rd down and 7. This is Aaron Key. Here's the wraparound, and again, Reitz quickly calling a timeout. Well, they're going to get the ball back, but they'll need 2 quick scores, and when they get it back, the start from scrimmage anyway is going to be around 2:40 or so.
They'll expect to get it somewhere around their own 15 to 25. Maybe get a pretty good run back. Chris Brunson, a very capable runner, and his family has a long history of breaking big run backs. You know, for so many years, it was so hard for the modern-day Wildcats to beat the Reitz Panthers. One year, it looked inevitable. You know, Modern Day had a lead late in the game, and they kicked it off after scoring. Kirk Brunson ran it all the way down the sideline, I think about 98 yards for the game winner when Modern Day thought they had them, and that was all the way back in about 83. And just ran into Kirk during that lightning delay down there in the tunnel and talked to him a little bit about his football days. But Corey has done it, and now Chris with the big opportunity, but the Knights probably going to kick it away from him.
Sampson getting rid of it. Hit right after he let that one go. That rolls all the way to the 10. So you've got a steep hill to climb anyway. You're down by 2 scores, and you got to go 90 yards just to pick up one of those 2 back. There's your storyline right there.
Not a returnable kick for Brunson, and perhaps the Castle Knights knows of the Brunson family history here at Reitz High School.
Next week, next Saturday afternoon, you will take a look at the Modern Day Wildcats for the first time here in the 2000 season as they take on Mojo Hollowell's Owensboro Catholic Aces. That is next Saturday at 12 noon right here on WB19.
That's 1981 when Kirk Brunson ran that kickoff back.
I wasn't born yet. Up the middle, had it, lost it. Skylar Ford around 32.
Boy, Skylar took a shot that time. Casey Elkins back there delivering some punishment, and he broke that one up with the hit. That ball had found its mark, and Elkins disconnected it.
Incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:38 remaining. Second chance from the 10 for Kyle Anslinger. This kid's just a sophomore. Get used to hearing this kid's name the next couple of seasons. Anslinger quickly to get that one off. Got a hand to it. Mackey did anyway. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10.
Landslinger came out of the locker room and connected on his first 2 passes for 20 yards apiece. And hasn't found the mark since. It's been a tough second half for Kyle Landslinger.
Upcoming sports this weekend on WB19. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. Cardinals Cubbies. Congratulations to the Cardinals clinching this past week into the playoffs. San Francisco also clinched on Friday, so 2 in. A couple more to be decided. Braves will be in.
Darren was giving me a hard time earlier about I had my Cardinals jacket with me in case it got a little cool tonight. You know, he accused me of being a fair weather fan now that they have the X beside them in the paper. But, you know, I mean, we've had mild summers around here, but not jacket summers.
It's jacket weather again.
But it is nice as a Cardinal fan to have something to do now into October.
So the Cardinals clinch. You can get a look at the Cardinals tomorrow live at 1 o'clock. Cardinals and Cubs right here on WB19. Colts, a little Monday night football action for them this week. They'll take on Kevin Hardy and the Jacksonville Jaguars. After a long layoff, huh? 4th and 10, kicking from the end zone. And again, Zach Barrett does so. Rolls out around the 39, and so Castle will kill the final 2:20. Program note here on WB19. October 7th, 12 noon, after a big football game between Castle and Mater Dei. Let's talk about it on the return of what we're going to call Sports Saturday, taking your calls each and every Saturday at 12 noon. So the former Sports Talk returns. WB19 Sports Saturday returns October 7th here on WB19. Look forward to that.
Call it what you want. It's still the same old Darren Smith.
I'll have more help this time, though.
I tell you what, I missed that show. I enjoy watching you guys.
I enjoyed having the summer off. It's time to go back to work. October 7th, WB19 Sports Saturday, taking your calls live, 12 noon. 1st and 10 from the 37. Academic. A couple of first downs from putting this one away. There's Dietz. Busy night. Busy 4th. Picks up a couple. Again, high school football next Saturday at 12 noon. Mater Dei, Owensboro Catholic. See if it's a different game over at Rash Stadium. Mater Dei really handled them last year here.
I think Mojo and the boys are hiding some tricks in their pocket, saving
they
them
lost
for the
that kicker.
Wildcats.
They lost that kicker, though.
But, you know, the Catholic is always a team to contend with. Mojo is a great high school football coach.
Dietz hit straight up that time by Jared Eckert, 5'10 junior. Inside a minute and a half here to go. 3rd down coming up. And Reitz will use their final timeout.
Tough night for the Panthers. It's uncharacteristic to turn that ball over as often as they did, and some great experience has committed those turnovers, and that's always tough to take, and that's going to bother these seniors for a little while, and that's going to provide good fuel for the rest of the season for these Reitz Panthers. And I tell you what, Darren, I'm very much impressed by these guys. You know, they gave Castle a lot of opportunities. Their defense is very tough and looks still strong. Fan support out there in the concrete end of the stadium. But it's not a bad bunch out here in the blue and gray tonight.
In the meantime, Castle will keep it perfect into the Harrison game next Friday night. Ranked number 6 in Class 5A in the state of Indiana. May move up a notch or two depending on what happens on a Friday night in Indiana. But victim number 6, always tough to get out of Reitz Bowl with a victory, whether it's Reitz or Mater Dei on the other side of the football. Here's 3rd down and 7. And Roop taken back. Reitz cannot stop the clock anymore, so Castle took a great deal of this off, and they'll be well under a minute when Reitz gets it back. And down by 2 scores. So Castle 8-4 a season ago, has their first 6 on their side. Now, more importantly, 4-0 now in the SIAC. Reitz will drop to 4-2, 3-1 in the SIAC. So we look ahead, and coaches won't look ahead 2 weeks, but we can, to a big game in Paradise on October 6th. I can't see any other way of that game being 7-0 versus 7-0.
It'll be hard not to.
I mean, I like Mater Dei on a Saturday against Harrison. I like Castle beating Harrison next week. I like Mater Dei beating Owensboro Catholic next Thursday night.
They can survive the haunts of Rash Stadium.
So the SIAC title to be decided in 2 weeks. 43 seconds here.
That's
Sampson
nice
gets,
kick.
yeah, he's had some nice ones tonight. There's Chris Brunson, stopped at the 18.
That punt is returned by number 4, Chris Brunson. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. At about the 19.
It's going to be tough next week. Reitz is going to come out with the
hungry North team.
Oh boy, they're going to be hungry themselves. Reitz coming into that game very hungry.
And then
that should be a good ball game.
And then they're at Bosse, and I'll tell you what, Ed Vogel has done a nice job this year with the Bulldogs. That's an up-and-coming team.
They're playing very impressive football this season.
From the 19. And Slinger will air it out, looking for a miracle here. And it's out of play. Actually, it was Casey Elkins the closest to that. 28 seconds left.
I think Casey might have hauled that ball in, or I think one of the Knights came up with it down there. Tim Felton may be in the ball game for Castle on defense. I think caught that ball, but out of bounds. But he got into some action.
Game that had a 25-minute lightning delay. And now 28 seconds from saying goodbye to week number 6. Trying to run this one now. First time they've rushed the ball in a while. And no success there, and that should do it.
Tad Brittingham with the final carry. Tad had some big carries in the first half. The defense of Castle tuned into him and made it a different story. It turned around and turned into the Aaron Key show tonight as Aaron rushed for nearly 150 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Roop with a touchdown dive, and then a 26-yard touchdown pass to Casey Elkins to round out the scoring for the Panthers. 2 touchdowns off of turnovers. For Reitz, a touchdown pass from Kyle Anslinger to Chris Brunson. And that was all the scoring that they could put together. A great night for the Panthers defense. Sure, they gave up 21 points, but they answered a lot of calls tonight. So the Reitz has North next week. Look out, Huskies. The Panthers believe, and they are hungry. And for Castle, Harrison next week, and then hosting Mater Dei. But a great night for Aaron Key, who had big shoes to fill, the big shoes of John Howler. Once he got it going, the A-Train, Aaron Key, made the difference tonight.
A 6-0 start for John Leidy and the Castle Knights, setting up a possible showdown in 2 weeks. Castle, 6 for 6 in 2000. Take care of the Reitz Panthers, and it's on to Harrison in 1 week. For Pete Hillenbrand, I'm Darren Smith. This has been a presentation of WB 19 Sports.